I apologize, you video people. I got it. That's my fault. That's completely my fault. That's completely my fault. You guys just lost the whole first 4 minutes of the show. My bad. I'm gonna have to drop you like a little tinky tonk. Go straight to the 4 minute mark because you guys ain't gonna hear anything for a little bit of the show. But listen, let's start talking, right? Let's start the show the way that we like to start off every single show, and that is with the birthday party. What's the birthday party? It's simple. It's nothing big unless it's your birthday, that is. And I'm actually surprised. Actually, no. You know what? Now that I think about it, no. Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm actually surprised that somebody I'm about to give a birthday shout out to is not here because she knows full-handedly that I give birthday shout outs out on the 5th. She could have came and she would have got a birthday shout out. You would have got a doobie snack for free. Listen, if it's your birthday and you down here, and I knows you, and you make the top birthday list, I'm gonna give you a doobie snack. Like you earn yourself a doobie snack just by being one of my compadres, you know what I mean, my brethrens and my partners. Yeah, let's start with the birthday party. What we do here is that we like to give a little birthday shout out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we were on the air. So, not to hold up the show any longer. Hey, yo, DJ MyT, drop that beat for me. This is what the Mighty Sports Podcast is sounding like. It's what we sound like today. It's what we sound like every day. You ready? Yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. All right, folks, we got a couple of birthdays to get out first. We got like maybe 4 birthdays to get out in the ether right now, right? We're gonna go back in time, right? And give a birthday shout out for yesterday, folks. So for October 4th, we have a birthday for my homegirl Leah Tripido. Leah, I'm not even sure if you in the area anymore. Last time I heard you was living in Arizona somewhere, like living a good life, soaking up a different kind of sun. You understand? I hope you safe over there. We want to wish you a happy birthday. Yo, can we give them a little? There we go. And also on the birthday shout out, we'd like to give out to this one. Like, see, all these are special. I was gonna change up the order real quick, but I can't even change up the order. Right? First birthday shout I'd like to give to is to my homegirl Denise. Right, Denise, you're the one I'm actually surprised that you're not here. Granted that you've been here on days it's not your birthday. Now this is where you're supposed to be celebrating your birthday at with Sharkeys and your boys at the MyT Sports Podcast, with all of your drunk uncles at the MyT Sports Podcast. That's what we're here for. Hope you guys realize that Wednesday night's about to pick up. Wednesday nights here at Sharkeys is about to pick up. We're about to have DJ Scepter joining the scene. There we go. So you guys just wait. Coming soon. Next week soon. To a Wednesday near you at Sharkeys. We're going to have DJ Scepter joining us inside. Right? You're going to have your boy, the Mighty Sports Podcast here outside. The whole entire time we're going to have a blast and that shit going to be live. We all the way live. And we got birthdays for today. We're going to continue. Denise, where you at, girl? Shine a light on him. Where the birthday girl? Right? I got more birthdays to give out. I got a birthday to one of my little brothers. Right? I want to give a birthday shout out to my homeboy Ross Hargrave. Yo, where you at? Yo, Pimpin, where you at, son? Yo, where you been hiding at, man? I know you've been around and shit. You know what I mean? So holla at your boy Moose. I mean, you want to say happy birthday to my boy Ross as well, right? And not the Rose, you guys don't even know. I knew a different Ross before Ross changed his name to Rook Ross, right? Before that correctional officer changed his name to Rick Ross. I was right? But seriously, like I knew a real Ross, and that was just his voice. We got one last birthday shout out to give. This one is kind of special. This one hurts a little. This one may touch you. This one may touch the heart. Right? And I told you guys, right, that I do the birthday shout out based off who popped up on my Facebook. So sometimes on my Facebook friends, I still have individuals that may have passed away, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay because then what we get the opportunity to do is that we get to make sure that we give them a very special birthday shout out. You know what I mean? And also it helps us to not forget them as well. So to my boy Ronnie Mo, I want to say happy birthday to you as well. Right? Let's get them all in. Let's get them all in. Let's get them bundled in here. Let's bring them all together, right? That's to Leah and to Denise and to Ross and to Ronnie. We want to wish you all a happy birthday. We hope you party hard. Hope you enjoy everything. Oh, Paul, you regret nothing. You get your weekend at Bernie's on, and you continue to stay MyT. Yo, I like how you did that one. I appreciate you. It's perfect timing, like you knew I was coming down. Yeah, let's get into our first topic of the day, folks. I don't even want to hold you guys up. I really don't. We got some big news. Like we got some big news. I don't know. Listen. I don't want to say I'm lost for words, folks. But the one, the only New York Yankee outfielder, Aaron Judge. He goes out and not just breaks the. Let's take one of these down. Right? Let's take that one down. Yeah, we could do without that. He not only breaks the Yankees home run record that is held by a legendary player, legendary Yankee. We're talking about a record that has held for 60 plus years. Legendary. Doogie Howser. Like, however you want to sniff it. You're in South Florida. But he hits home run number 63 last night at Yankee Stadium in front of the family, in front of the fans. Michael K is on the call. And he breaks not just the Yankees home run record, but it's also what's considered the American League home run record. And in many eyes, it is also the true home run record. Or if you want to, I've heard a lot of this debate today, right? And of course, we probably gonna have to talk about it a little bit. Or if you want to put asterisks on it, the home run record once they started testing for steroids, once you couldn't juice openly anymore. Now, as a Yankees fan, like listen, that's all you want to hear. Like you understand, we don't even care whatever kind of flavor you trying to spit in our ear. The only thing we trying to hear is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is the new home run champion. Now, there's a reason, and as you know that there's a reason why we break it down into so many different parts, right? We know you do. It's because there was a juicing era in baseball, and in this juicing era of baseball, we've seen individuals put up 73 home runs. We've seen guys that were barely struggling, that were struggling to hit 40. Maybe a couple of them had broken 50. Most of them was on the decline of their career, but none of them had been in the 60s. None of them went to 70s. All of a sudden, we get Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. I keep wanting to say Frank Thomas, but it's not. Barry Bonds. There we go. You had those individuals out there. And listen, I remember being a child during that time frame. It was exciting. It was electric. Boogie Oogie. Like it really had not just whatever city that those players happened to play for on fire, right? It had the whole baseball world on fire. It had the whole sports world on fire. But also, you can probably blame the decline of interest in baseball probably directly to finding out that those guys cheated the game. Because then all of these feats from athletes that we wanted to see, they were all tainted now. And listen, it's not just the hitters, right? The pitchers too. And obviously, you can't stop anybody now from getting paid from that era, but right. And if it's a part of the game, it's a part of the game. It's a part of history. It's a part of history. You can't fully take it out, but it has to be a way to recognize the fact that a the only way that these three guys hit that many home runs is because they were putting illegal substances in their body to make them Iron Men, to make them Incredible Hulks, to make them be bodybuilders. I hope you guys are drinking your drink with me. I hope you guys are listening to the podcast and drinking your drink with me. Like it's that kind of Wednesday. It's hump day, pimping. So if you're not getting no ass right now, at least have a drink, so that by the time the podcast is over, you'd have been drinking for at least a couple for like 2 hours or so, and then you would have been like, you know what? It is hump day. Let me go ahead and send off this text. Thank you again. My phone never misses. Never misses. Never misses. That's part of the reason why it's broken down so many different levels. Is because there's layers to it, right? There's context to it. It's a baseball onion. Once everybody found out that these records were tainted, interest level really dropped. Like, see, even a couple years ago, remember when Juan Carlos Stanton was close to it? It created a buzz, and it was a buzz down here. I remember how it felt down here in South Florida. It was a buzz. It was tangible. But then, as you get close to realizing that, damn, you can't even break what's considered the American League record or the true record, they were like, we don't know if you could be celebrated. So now you get Aaron Judge coming up on home run number 63. And you hear it and you see how it's being treated, how it's being celebrated. Every at bat, regardless of what you're watching on ABC, regardless of what you're watching on any ESPN program, they make sure that they're breaking in. They're making sure that you guys see this. They want to make sure that if you're on one of their programs, you're gonna catch this history. Like, you're not gonna miss these history hands for shit. They treated it as if he was breaking the record, and that's because what the record is has now become its own separate polarizing topic. Like, that's that crazy thing here, right? Where while baseball may not be ridiculously polarizing as a sport anymore, right? Where you hang on, or you hang on every game. Oh, whoa. Shit. Okay, hold on 1 second. I gotta ask him to go cut something for me. You guys listen to a quick commercial break while I go handle some quick business. My apologies. What a gamble and what a response from that UCF defense. Great field position. They toss it over into the hands of Lino. Keep the speedster. That perimeter speed by SMU running out of bounds. Let's send it down to Dawn. On this UCF sideline, Tom Rice Plumlee taking control this half. Chatting with Coach Malzahn. All right, we're back. Guess the commercial didn't want to play either. So I had to get something cut. Listen, you guys will be all right. That's what happens here. Hey, it's a live event. It's a live show. Things like this is gonna happen. I had to get that speaker cut. And that's the easy way to get the whole entire feed erased. And none of you to see nothing. Listen, I'm you know how you guys have been, I don't know, have been getting those notifications from Facebook or Instagram for content you've put up probably like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. Like, hey, yeah, we don't agree with this now anymore. like that's gonna end up happening to me. It's gonna be months down the road. They're gonna be like, yeah, we heard part of a game in there. We're gonna block this in 143 countries. I don't know which countries they don't block it in, but I know at least 143 of them it gets blocked in. And even though my outreach was that far, like if that's the case, how come I ain't getting more callers from more of these 143 countries? Yeah, you guys call in. Like I don't care if you think you know what I'm talking about or not. Or how is it now these days? Let's get back to Judge's Chamber, right? Because as I was saying that the home run, him hitting 63, that home run record is a polarizing topic in itself. That's part of the reason why the break-ins were so frequent, or they made sure that everybody saw it, because ultimately it's going to generate, obviously, not only topic for them, it's going to generate topic online. It's going to generate topic amongst your friends. It's that water cooler, you know what I mean? That water cooler topic kind of scenarios, right? Where there is about half of the baseball fans that are like, you know what? Hey, it is what it is. The numbers are 70 something. Now, I have a weird feeling that the majority of the people that are like, hey, let's let it be. I feel like they're young. I feel like they're youngsters. I don't know why. I feel like the older generation holds on to the fact that we don't want to, because you know how it is. Nobody ever wants to see the records broken of their idols. And then if it's done, they want it done in the purest way, in the most difficult way. Like you understand? Like they want that. They want whoever breaks it to be the most astonishing man alive, or woman, person alive. While the person's record that they're breaking is over here like, the record is meant to be broken. Like you realize, like the person that broke the record is not even alive right now. His son is getting publicity because this record is being broken. Let's imagine now, you out the game 30 years. Hey, they talk about you, they pull you up every once in a while, but now every time your record gets close to being broken, guess what happens? You get trotted out for a good month. Free publicity, signing merch, kissing babies, selling t-shirts, going on tour. Mwah. A vote for me is a vote for mankind. Like they get a chance to get reimmersed to the public. Like go talk to any Dolphin or any of that old school Dolphins team, right? That undefeated team. As much, well, a lot of them are more petty. They probably don't want to see anybody really beat their record. But anytime a team gets close, they get somewhere around like 13, 14, 15 wins, right? Especially on that 13 win mark. 12 wins in a row, maybe even 10 wins already, we're being undefeated. Those old guys from that Miami team, they start getting called up. All of a sudden, you get the ones that can't shy away from the media. They pop it. They're already there. They ready to give their. Well, we did it. It surely was 17 games. So it's a nice feat being able to kind of hold on to the record a little bit longer, I understand. Like it is one of those double-edged swords, right? That you, as somebody that's a record holder, you know that your record is going to be beat eventually. So you're just kind of just waiting in a weird way to see when it's beat. But then also, you're kind of petty, right? You're a competitor, right? Like you busted your ass to get that record. Like you trained your body, like you did all for the most part, right? except like everybody except for Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, and Barry Bonds. Like like you do the right thing. You put all the right stuff in your body. You don't cheat the game, and you break a record. And you're like, you know what? I kind of want to revel in this for a while. The 3-point record that was sitting there, right? Before it was recently broken and then recently broken. You understand? It was broken by Reggie Miller, and it was saying, and then about a decade or so later, it's broken by Ray Allen, and then we get another decade or so too, and it's broken by Stephen Curry, and Stephen Curry may put that sucker so far up that you will feel it in your throat. Pause. So I get it. I get it. But that's what they treated it. They treated it as if he was breaking an all-time record. But you know what? He's breaking what was what is probably one of the most polarizing records. Because you let me know, what other record can you think of that when somebody says, hey, this individual hit 10 home runs less, this individual did so much more less than what the actual record is, and you still get at least half of the fans. You still get at least half of the sports. Not just the fans, half of the people that played the sport, half of the people that's in the sport. Talking about, well, in that time, those guys were kind of doing a lot of stuff. It's hard to fully recognize what they would have done there. Like, you're getting half of them are saying that. And they're players, they were players, they're current players. Even they have a hard time amongst themselves, amongst your own peers. You understand? If it's a debate amongst your peers, if what you did was clean or not, especially when it's like 50% of your peers, and they know the game. Like, it's okay if 50% of the fans think, okay, nah, you like your record shouldn't be noticed. But when 50% of your peers do it as well, they're like, yeah, we don't know about this one, Jim. Like we gonna have to throw in the challenge flag on us and get asked for an official Blue Chew review. Like, and don't forget, folks, if you would like to get yourself an order of Blue Chew, I got a way for you to get some Blue Chew for you. What is Blue Chew, you ask? Blue Chew just happens to be a little blue pill that can get you back your throat. All you have to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. Let me help you out and understand a little bit more of Blue Chew is. Blue Chew has the same ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. So this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss. And she's going to love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. Listen, I got a secret for you. It's between me and you, peoples. If you use my promo code of UHTS, that's Uniform, Hotel, Tango, Sierra, you get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, go to bluechew.com, use the promo code UHTS, you get your first order of Blue Chew for free. All you gotta do is pay shipping and handle it. Don't be cheap. Take care of your postal workers. Listen, like they have a hard time like delivering packages, and they're gonna be making sure that they deliver your package so that your package can continue to have a hard time. Blue Chew. There's really only 2 instructions. You chew it, and then you do it. How you do it? Well, that's up to you. You can do LL Cool J style. You can just doing it and doing it and doing it well. She was raised in Queens. I was born up in Brooklyn. Blue Chew. Can I tell you, like, this was a good week for New York. Like, as a New Yorker, as a displaced New Yorker, right? It was a good week for New York. It was a really good week for New York. Over the weekend, you had the Dolphins lose. I'm sorry. Joke me, I'm back. But you had the Jets come away for victory, a nice comeback victory. You had the Bills continue their winning and championship looking ways. You had the Giants come away for victory. Then early last night, before the home run, you got the Knicks put it on a show. Actually, the home run came before the end of the Knicks game. But you had the Knicks game start. They put on the show. Yankees game start. Aaron Judge first, comes out. He's hitting home runs. The Knicks get a dub. Oh, you know what that means. You know we're gonna have some Knicks talk. You know we gotta stay with that Knicks talk. I said, I don't care if it's regular season, playoffs, if it's light or if it's dark. You know we stay with that Knicks talk. That Knicks talk. I'm just excited to be talking basketball again. Like, you can't take this away from me, baby. You will not take this from me, baby. You know, my Knicks. New York Knicks had their first game of the 2022-2023 season. They would have a preseason game against the Detroit Basketball Pistons. And can I tell you? I know you guys are wondering, like, hey yo, like really, you talking about preseason right now? We didn't even talk about practice. We talking about preseason. Like not like the real games where wins and losses matter. We're talking about preseason. Like, you won't count the bubble, but you'll count preseason. Like, that's what we talking about here. Yes, we talking preseason. I'm sorry, B. I'm built different. Now, for basketball fans and even Knicks fans, this is a very interesting game to watch. Right? Tell them. Go ahead. Denise officially liking the link. I hope you're watching the podcast. I gave you a birthday shout out earlier. Why ain't you here? You understand? Like, there's only one reason why you should not be here on your birthday. And that is if you're getting that birthday. Squeak 'em, squeak 'em, squeak 'em, squeak, squeak 'em, squeak, squeak 'em, squeak, squeak 'em, squeak 'em, squeak 'em, squeak, 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 squeak 'em, squeak, squeak 'em, squeak. She may be responding right now. Let me see if that's her in the chats. I don't see the chats popping up. But I do see her responding somewhere. Let's see what she's saying. She commented on the podcast. Let's see what she said. Thanks for the birthday shout out, my friend. Okay, so she ain't see what we said. Sorry, man. We just had to pop this up real quick. Listen, so she must be busy. I gotta tell you, folks. If you're not here on the Mighty Sports, if you're not catching the Mighty Sports podcast on your birthday, because you know we get the birthday shout out to the top of every single show. There's only one acceptable reason that I will take. Outside of that, you're at work and you're making money. But even then, you should have took your birthday off. I mean, we have this talk about personal holidays. Your birthday's a personal holiday. You should never work on your birthday if you can help it. Like, I don't care if it's in the middle of the week and everybody else is at work. That's even better. You get to relax. Are we still talking Knicks? Let's get back into our Knicks talk. So this is a good game for Knicks fans, for basketball fans, for Detroit fans, because what you got in this game, right? And let me explain to you how probably the schedule makers and the television people look at it. One, you get a New York market, right? You get them in there for basketball. You get a Detroit market in there for basketball. New Yorkers right now are highly invested. All Knicks fans are highly invested in their basketball team because we want to see how the young boys are going to play. We want to see how Tibbs is going to play out that shooting guard position. We want to see how these guys are going to get minutes and burn and shots. He's still doing that weirdo thing where Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, it looks like they're going to be scheduled this season again to get the same amount of shots. Both of them put up 18 shots on this game. Both of them made 7. But it's not just about the Knicks players. What you also get here, right, are the Detroit Piston players as well. And you guys have to remember, there was a third pick that the Detroit Pistons recently just made that the New York Knicks were highly coveted. They were trying to get. And he was in this game. So you have to understand now you get the opportunity to showcase your young point guards or your young guards. I forgot what the young guard's name was, to be honest with you. I thought I was going to recognize it, but I thought it was going to pop up on me. I didn't think it was Corey. Was it Corey Joseph? Nah, that's not Corey Joseph. And it's not Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham was there last year. Marvin Bagley was there last year. Killian Hayes was there last year. And I know he played. Why can't I remember his name? This is crazy. Crazy. I thought he played. I know he played. Did I see him play? Nah, whatever. Still back to my point. All right. So for us basketball fans, you get to see one of the top. You get to see one of the top draft picks in the league play. Right. He gets to showcase his talent for the very first time on a New York stage in front of a New York market. This is also a guy that's supposed to be as excitable as John Moran, as Russell Westbrook, have that kind of motor, that kind of athleticism, right? I didn't see that. Now a watered down version of what of what those guys are, but I didn't even see a watered down version. It was like when they used to call Frank Ntilikina a defensive specialist, right? And I've never even known him to be a pest. Like he's more like a Pepe Le Pew than a pest. Like he just comes on the court and stinks up the joint. Let's let you guys know that was a French pun for a French player that plays bad. Listen, I'll walk you through a couple of these. We got balls for days over here. RJ Barrett looked like RJ Barrett. You know what? Let's keep it a buck. I didn't see anything positive or negative in this game. Right? Nothing stood out to me. I didn't see RJ Barrett look like he's ready to dominate the league or that he's ready to be the leader of the team. I didn't see that. I didn't see that Julius Randle learned how to be a better team player. I didn't see that. They looked kind of like they did from last. Now, what I saw more consistency from Emmanuel Quickly. I did see that. Like his spark off the bench was tangible. Alex Burke is not on this team still. What is going on here? Neither is Taj Gibson. Like they really are confusing. Like whatever site I'm on NBA site, they really are confused with something. Like I don't understand what's going on here. But let's continue. Yeah, I was gonna explain something, but I'm out of it. Evan Fournier is still getting decent minutes. Again, we talked about this a little bit on Monday. I don't know if that's going to change. I don't know if you could really help that because right now, while Emmanuel Quickly is there and healthy, and so is Derrick Rose, we don't have the services, and even Deuce McBride, we have him as well. But what we don't have the services of is that light skin is that light skin sniper. Right? We don't have him as he's been in a walking boot, and he's really the guy that I think a lot of guys, Quentin Grimes, that is I'm talking about, guys you don't recognize by now. He's the guy that a lot of Knicks fans, a lot of scouts, not only assume is the very next in line to take over that shooting guard position, especially if Evan Fournier continues to show the defensive deficiencies, and he's able to match his offense on a consistent basis. But you're also talking about the individual. Why most people, most scouts, most experts, they would have already started him over Fournier. Now, big up to Coach Tibbs for having a real stubborn quality that's not so bad, and that is he's gonna play his vets sometimes. Like he's gonna go with the guys that not only have the contract but also have the experience. And Evan Fournier has both. He has the bigger contract and he has more experience. And until you can fully show that he has lost his job, then hey, Tom Thibodeau is going to give that guy every opportunity, which may mean 50 games. Because Tom Thibodeau is that star. It may mean 62 games. I'm hoping that I'm not talking about Evan Fournier being the piece that's holding us back for 62 games. Because honestly, I look at Evan Fournier and I don't know who he's going to guard on any given night. I really don't. There's not an Evan Fournier slow foot motherfucker on any other given team. And yes, he's slow footed. Slew foot sloth motherfucker. Like yeah, that's where he got slow foot. If you look in our own division, right? You're talking about Toronto. I don't know who their shooting guard is, but I know he's better than Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier can't keep up with him. Because it could easily be Fred VanVleet, depending on how they want to play the position. In Boston, you have Jaylen Brown, right? In Milwaukee, you got Chris Middleton. I jumped ships for a little bit. In Brooklyn, you have Kyrie Irving or Ben Simmons. Oh, what? KD? Like, who's he going to guard? Like, who can he guard? And it's not for a lack of effort half the time. Like, he puts in the effort. Like, and that's probably why coach hasn't given up on him, probably, is that he puts in the effort. He really does try. But you know what they say, like, a lot of people have a bunch of abilities, and even like availability is an ability. Well, he just doesn't have the quick twitch ability that he needs to stay in front of defenders. He doesn't have the fast foot ability. Like his perimeter defense is basura. I'm sorry. And don't forget that the phone lines are open, folks. We're gonna if you're listening, especially if you're listening through the Podbean, if you listen to the Podbean app, the Podbean app is our call-in hotline. So if you would like to call into the show and join the conversation, or if you just have a question for us, please feel free to give us a call, folks. MyT Sports Podcast. You can listen to us just about everywhere live these days. We talk about on Podbean, we talk about on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. Every one of those platforms you can catch us live. Mixlr, but also you can catch the re-air basically anywhere that you listen to podcasts at as well. Whether you listen to Pandora, on iTunes, on Google Podcast, on Spotify, every one of those platforms that I just mentioned to you earlier, the Twitch, the Podbean, the YouTube, Facebook, you catch us everywhere, we're everywhere that you want to be. But this MyT Sports Podcast is better than American Express because we don't charge you anything. So the Knicks still have, to me, they still have issues. They still have deficiencies that we're going to have to look at. And we told you, like we've told you in the past, because even when the Knicks were bad, and they were bad, I used to always ask you guys, what do you expect? What do you honestly expect from a team that has the Brooklyn Nets in it, or a division that has the Brooklyn Nets in it, right? The Boston Celtics, who now just recently went to a championship. They have the Toronto Raptors, who recently won a championship. And we have all of those teams, and Philly, all in our division. And we have to play them 4 times a year. This is when we were bad. I'm like, that's a guaranteed 16 losses. Now you'll be lucky if you split them. Now, Knicks fans, you should feel confident that if you split with these teams, go, and I with these teams, right? In those 16 games, if you go 8-8, you're lucky. Well, pretty soon, fans, Knicks team, you're gonna have to get to a point where you start sharpening your steel, right? You have to get to a point where if this is how our division looks, you're gonna have to start getting to a point where you're gonna have to start taking these lumps, taking these battles, and learn how to be better. But Knicks still have two black holes. There's two major questions in their starting lineup. That is Julius Randle and Evan Fournier. And until those two problems get solved, the New York Knicks probably will not be any better than a play-in tournament team. Because the only way for those two guys not to be a problem is for both of them to have an all-star level season. That's the only way. And if they're not, those two guys specifically, if they're not, then they are a waste of space to us. Nobody needs to see what more that Julius Randle can do. We know what Julius Wactavius Randle is. He's a walking tornado that can't hold on to the ball. We know who Evan Fournier is. He's a three-point shooting guy that has no D. Pause. So unless both of those guys fix that, plus the bad attitude that Julius Randle has, the leadership issue that Julius Randle has, the poor shots that Julius Randle's like, until he fix all of that, there really is no hope for this Knicks team. I sound like a lot of you. I may come into this season a little disgruntled. Because as we're talking about it now, I kind of see the writing on the wall. I'm going to have a rough season. And I'm talking a rough season, and we may still win 50 games, and it's going to be. Listen, let me not lie to myself. If we win 50 games, I don't care how rough it looks. I'm gonna be celebrating, but I'll be celebrating knowing that we're probably not going to get out the first round. But I still feel like we got 50 wins in us. Like, I really believe that's still a thing. Now, I'm a Knicks fan. I am like a Cowboys fan at times. I'm delusional with the expectations of my team. I'm not saying the Knicks are going to win a championship. I'm not saying they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference final. I'm not even saying they're going to make it to the second round. I'm going to say they can get 50 wins and still be a playing team in the East. That's all I'm saying. And I'll take it because that 50 wins is going to be the best you can squeeze out of them, regardless of what the positioning is. The positioning isn't, we can't control the positioning. All we can control is how many games we win and lose. The positioning is basically it was a result of how good everybody else is around us. I said, there's four people. Like I said, there's 4 teams out of the division we could be behind alone. And then, like I said, and they're still Milwaukee. They're still Cleveland. Who knows how Indiana's gonna look? I know we probably don't believe in Indiana, but there's also still Chicago. And then we go down south and there's Miami. And there's Atlanta. I know we're not worried about Orlando. There's New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. That's 10 teams. No, New Orleans. I think New Orleans may be actually in the West. They may have them in the West. Memphis. No, Memphis in the West too. I'm trying to think of that last team in the South. But you understand, I mentioned 9-10 teams already that could be better than the Knicks. Now, the crazy thing about this here is, right, I don't think all of those teams could pull out. Actually, listen, I say 50, but I really mean 45, right? And I can see all those teams pushing out 45 wins. I don't see all those teams pushing out 50 wins. It'll be close. I can see every single last one of those teams getting 45 wins. If I was a betting person and I had the over-under for any of those teams I just mentioned, except for Indiana. Indiana, don't count them. But for every other team, Chicago, Atlanta, Miami, Milwaukee, Boston, Brooklyn, maybe not Toronto. But if the number's 45, hell yeah. If they expect your team to get anything less than 45 wins, those teams that I just mentioned off, I'll take it. Now we know that. Now I know somebody has to lose. I know somebody has to lose, and that's the other side of it, right? Damn, they all can't be busting 50. Then who's gonna be the team that sucks? Orlando, Houston, Oklahoma City, Washington. Washington. That's the other team I forgot about. Charlotte. That's the other team I forgot about. Well, Charlotte may be right on pace with you guys. Depends. It depends. They lost a lot of players, a lot of, and they got a bunch of knuckleheads on that team. Like boy, oh boy, talking about Charlotte. Like we talk about Charlotte. I don't think we really talk about Charlotte enough. If there was ever a team, and I'm mentioning this as I'm on the cusp of watching the Legacy docuseries, but if there was ever a team that can use some veteran leadership, that is the team. The Charlotte Hornets, they need some veteran leadership. They need an Al Horford on their team. They need a Ron Artest. Look, nah, Ron Artest is too much of a knucklehead. He'll fall right in line with them. Next thing you know, he'll be fighting people. I'm not gonna say that about him. Next thing you know, he'll be having another baby mama. I'm not gonna play Ron Artest. That's one of my dudes from the boogie down. No, for real. Like, no, that's one of the homies. Like, I can't even play him like that. You know, the true warrior all day. But yeah, if there was ever a team that can use definitely some veteran leadership, the Charlotte Hornets are one of those teams. Maybe even Atlanta has Al Horford. No, Boston has Al Horford. Atlanta used to have Al Horford. Atlanta probably too. Like those are a couple of teams that could probably benefit from veteran leadership. The Knicks already had their veteran leadership. Remember, they had Taj Gibson on the team. They had Nerlens Noel. They still have Derrick Rose. Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose are two extensions of excuse me. They're two extensions of Tom Thibodeau. So those first couple of years of those guys being there, I don't feel so bad about right now because you know what they really helped those young guys become professionals. Now it's up into that young Knicks team for them to be able to take what they learned and now now start being able to apply it and taking their next progressive steps into their career. But yeah, veteran leadership in the NBA is really overlooked at times, and I think Atlanta used to have maybe even Memphis too. They both probably did, but probably not during the era that they needed to. Them had Vince Carter, but I still think that even to this day, Atlanta can benefit. And listen, Atlanta's gonna be one of those teams we're fighting with. Atlanta may be one of those teams they could be better than us. They just added Devontae Murray to that squad, and Devontae Murray is no joke. You saw what he did to that boy in the Drew League, in the Summer League, in the Drew League, the Drew Summer League, in the Dummer League, Slew League. He disrespected. He disrespected though. Like, listen, I like the first opportunity that he gets, to dunk, to get some revenge and dunk on him and like really posterize him. I'm talking about like, yo, you go full Shaq. You come out there and we're talking about Long King Paulie, just all down his face. I may be falling deep. I may be falling deep. I'm just happy basketball is back. I know you guys. I listen. I can sit here and we can talk basketball all day long, right? And I wouldn't even miss a beat. I wouldn't even miss it. But can I tell you, watching Legacy in that docu series about the Lakers dynasty, that is a tough story. Like I don't even see. I don't know. I don't know if it's the story or if it's just me these days where like I am so in tune with these things. Like I be getting mad emotional watching these stories, B. And I told you last week that the last week's episode was pretty tough. I finally caught up, right? So I'm caught up with a point where they're doing it week by week now. I'm kind of upset about that because I don't like watching things week to week like this. But you know what? It gives us something to share. Last week's episode was pretty tough, right? And that was because that was right after Kobe won his his fourth title. And I remember it hitting me that Kobe wasn't there to go ahead and give his insight on what was going about how he felt during that moment, what was going on, what was going through his head. Like we didn't get that exact, and they did a very good job of giving us enough Kobe sounders to give us enough Kobe clips to be like, okay, you feel like you feel like he's there, but then you constantly remind yourself, right? Or it comes back like, damn, Kobe really isn't here. He's not here to do his input on this. He's not even here to see this. Like all these Lakers greats, like because you start realizing all the Lakers greats that get involved in this, right? Coop, Magic, the Rambis, um, Phil, Shaq, all of the bus children. And when I mean all of the bus children, I'm talking about like 3 bus children we ain't even heard about. Like I didn't know that Jerry Buss had a half Asian son. Like who knew? I think he's half Asian, Filipino maybe. But you see all those greats there, right? Ron Artest even comes and talks. Stat comes and talks. You know Stat from All the Smoke. Stat, right? Paul Gasol, Lamar Odom. You get all of these Lakers greats that coming out there and they talk. And the one voice that you hear a lot from, but you don't see really, because you realize this is his old voice is Kobe. And one of the moments that hit really tough last week was after he won that ring, his 4th ring, and you see him pick up Gigi. And you're like, damn, it's tough. Well, then this week becomes even tougher, right? And listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was boo-hooing because what they end up showing was Kobe's last game now. And listen, that was emotionally enough as it was, right? Like you understand? Can I tell you? Like I remember, I'll never forget. I forget which championship it was, but I know I was down here in South Florida, right? And maybe it had to be the '08 one. It had to have been the '08 championship, right? Or maybe the '07 run to a championship, to the championship round, right? But it was one of those playoff runs, right? One of his last couple of playoff runs when he won the chip. And I remember I was with the person I was smooching with at the time, right? And I remember, like, and listen, I every person that I talked to, that I court, even the person I'm talking to now, and I'm hoping that like that this is gonna be my last girlfriend, like that ass. But even then, like I tell everybody that I get involved, I'm a big sports person. Like there's a reason why I have a sports podcast. I'm a big sports person. Sports can dictate my mood for the day. If something of significance is on, I'm gonna want to watch. On Sundays, like, hey yo, especially football Sundays, let me be for these 6 months, 4 months, however it is. You can get me the months outside of this. I can work around the Knicks basketball schedule and get some stuff done. I remember Kobe having that last run, and the person I was with, right, like they wanted to get a little hot and heavy, and I'm watching basketball, but they wanted to dribble a couple of different balls. And I remember trying as hard as I can to really try to convey that, like, hey, let me just finish watching this game. It's the playoffs. Big moments were happening. And like I said, like Fellas, I know we've all been here. Like sometimes you're successful, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you got to bustle, right? And I'm really trying to like to watch the game, but you know what? The person I'm with, they're like, you know what? They're not taking no for an answer. Bees like that, like guys, like we're not allowed to say no. Like you know what happens here. Like so, no doubt, like we start getting like a little hot and heavy, right? Like the frisky start coming out. Like next you know we like I'm over here beating up the meow 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 meow, and I'm still trying to watch the game. So we just had to flip it doggy style. I was like, okay, you know what? Like if this is what you want, I guess this is what you will get, and you gonna get this during the whole entire game. But listen, it was probably one of an incredible moment as well. Like, cause I never forget it. Like it was a very good session, right? The ups and the downs of the game did help with the rhythm of the night, and I want to say when that buzzer went off is when finally we called it quits and we both got off. Like it was exciting. It was it was definitely exciting and brand new. It was definitely a love boat. It's now what so I forgot how I got here. What I'm trying to say is that I will watch my sports. Like I'm a sports nut. Is what we do here. And these docu series, I do get emotional. And this last one, as they're showing Kobe's last game, like obviously, like it's one of those things. Like I don't, I'm not gonna compare it to what I'm comparing it to in my head. I'm gonna leave that alone, right? I don't need nobody coming after me. Um, it's like when you have a significant moment in your life, any kind of significant moment, and you kind of you start flat when you start seeing moments in history, you kind of flash back yourself to what you were doing and where you were at. They played Kobe's last game, right? And they're showing Kobe's last game, that his retirement game, because like Kobe, the team had been struggling for a while. They went through it all right after the last championship. The hiring of Mike. Oh my God! Like, can I tell you? Holy crap, Lakers fans, Lakers fans, Lakers fans. There's a small part of me that is happy that you had to go through what you went through after Phil Jackson left. Just that you had to go through it because you guys haven't known turmoil in eons, right? And what you guys had to go through right there was kind of how what Knicks fans go through. When they talk about some of those hiring and firings that went on, right? And the fact that Phil should have just came and taken over that team, right? After they fired, what was it, Mike Brown, I think? Yeah, after they fired Mike Brown, which was a bad hiring anyway, but let Jim Buss, whatever, let Buss Jr. tell you, talk about it. They needed a high profile coach that had been there and was used to blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, nobody thought Mike Brown was a high profile coach. Any success that Mike Brown had, they thought he did it while hopping on the shoulders, literally, of LeBron James. But you know what? This is when you're too smart for yourself. This is when you're an analytic driven individual and you don't ever watch and really see the game. All you ever see are the numbers. And those numbers eventually led to Kobe having his what was almost career-ending injury, basically a career-ending injury. First the Achilles go, and we all seen this pattern by now. And I think we all need to recognize one of these patterns. If somebody pops an Achilles, expect them to have another leg injury within the next year or so. If they tear MCL, ACL, any one of those CLs, expect that Achilles or something to go calf strain or something, of that nature to happen the next year. They come back for one. Just start expecting it. I think we've started to see way too many patterns of guys coming back from Achilles and MCLs and ACLs, right? And then in less than a year, and within 6 months, they're going right back out for another major surgery. So start realizing that these guys may be coming back faster than ever, but they're going right back on the bench a lot of times, which may mean they need to stop coming back so damn fast. Like we marvel at the fact, right, and we revere them for the fact they're able to come back as quickly as they do. But then I don't think we've actually put it together that they come back quick, but they end up losing a whole second year, which means that they're losing 3 years now, damn near. Because you still need that comeback year. Sorry, I'm having a brainstorm out loud with you guys. But they showed Kobe's injuries, right? That not only do most basketball fans, most Lakers fans, right? Even most basketball fans. Even listen, I'm not a Lakers fan. As a basketball fan, I knew like at the end of Kobe's career, they were running him into the ground like he was a rookie running back. And you had D'Antoni out here playing him for 44 minutes, trying to play 7 seconds or less with a 34-year-old Kobe. When Kobe ain't never played 7 seconds or less ever. Yeah, they ran that boy into the ground, and ultimately, they even go to the time that just the Lakers' non-winning ways and how it just made Kobe sick to the point where he's like, you know what, I can't do this anymore, I'm quitting. And how he just, and the fact that he got to that 20th year and was able to call it a wrap after that. But they showed his last game, and that last game was so special. Oh man, we're talking about I'm so special, so special. That's my mate walk with the 24 special. All right, that thing was so special, that game, because as much as we remember him putting up 60, at times I forget that he started off that game slow, like 0 for 5. Byron Scott is the coach of that team. Byron Scott that was on the team when he joined as a rookie. Byron Scott was his vet. And now he's managing Kobe's last game. I remember the paleness in Kobe's face when he was like, he looked exhausted. Remember Shaq asking him to put up 40. And he was like, I can't put up 40. But we all knew when Shaq asked him that. And we were like, man, you're going to try to put up 40. But then he started off 0 for 5. And we were like, it may not be in the cards. Next thing you know, he starts catching fire. Next thing you know, like he's out there, getting his Alicia Keys on. That boy is on fire. 40, 50, 55, 60 points on your last game. Talking about grand opening, grand closing. I'm emotional now thinking about it. Like, it was special, B. I don't even know why I'm emotional. Because, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I know why. Because then, that truly was his last time playing basketball. And we all know afterwards, there was just so much more that he was given to the game from a teaching standpoint. The men and, even more importantly, the women's side. To the youth side of basketball. He had gotten into film. He already had started winning awards there. 5 years removed from basketball, already winning awards in the entertainment industry, in the film industry. I think what ended up happening, what makes that so, that specific era where they talk about Kobe, what makes it so emotional, right? Because, like I said, they covered they cover Magic's era, right, and Kareem's era, but we still got Magic. That's we still have Magic. Magic caught AIDS in 1922. It's been 100 years now. We still got Magic. Listen, if you would have talked to the average person, you thought we were gonna lose Magic way before we lost Kobe. You understand? So there's so many people there that you have telling their story, and while you're able to go back down that emotional journey with them of rejoice, it's kind of hard to do that with Kobe, because you can never draw yourself fully away from the thought that oh, he's not here anymore. And he was a special person to basketball. Like I'm telling you right now, LeBron James is special to basketball. He's gonna get a tour. He's not gonna get that. I don't want to. He's gonna get his own kind of love. I don't think it's gonna be the kind of love that Kobe got. And listen, it could be misplaced love, right? That I have for Kobe that makes you think that LeBron won't get that same kind of reception from the world when he leaves the game. I think we're gonna get it from Stephen Curry. Like, I think that. Like there'll be a level to it for LeBron, but I don't know if it's gonna be on that Kobe level. Kobe level was a special level. And when Paul Pierce tried to get himself a farewell tour, and he realized very quickly they ain't love him like that. So now I'm just curious. I'm wondering of how far they're gonna cut this off at, right? Because I'm gonna assume that they're gonna take this through now because they've transitioned from Jim Buss's from Jim Buss's reign over now to where Genie takes full reign, right? And now we get to the end of Kobe's era, which then, as you guys know, like it leads to a time frame where the Lakers are kind of struggling again, right? So we have that window to cover, and then the signing of LeBron, and then that championship. And I wonder if that's where this docuseries ends, is from Magic to LeBron. And again, you see the influence that the great Jerry Buss had, right? Dr. Buss had on the game of basketball as a whole was incredible. Like I said, his philosophy of running an organization, his philosophy of selling tickets, his philosophy of advertising, his philosophy of going after star players, it is emulated so many different. He's emulated almost everywhere across the league. Listen, anytime you see cheerleaders at halftime or any kind of halftime show, just know that was Jerry. That's Dr. Buss. Big market teams feel like they have to go after a star. Next, Heat. They understand that the most important thing is winning. Heat. That's the reason why not Phil Jackson, but Pat Riley's the way that he is. He's from that tree. He understands, and it don't matter unless you're winning. And also, when you're in a city that has distractions, when you're in a city that has great weather, when you have a city where people could walk around half naked 348 days of the year, then you better bring something exciting to your sports organization if you want to catch not just your diehard fans, but the casual, the regular degulars. Now, we've seen this from the Knicks, but they've been unsuccessful. But now you start to understand of how of why they function the way that they do. That show really is good. And like I said, I'm gonna have to. I haven't started my next series yet, but I really think I'm trying to determine if I want to go in one or if I want to go the captain. And those are my next two choices: and one or the captain. And then from there, I'll be making my choice. Like I'll just keep going basketball, like basketball, baseball, basketball, football, basketball, baseball, basketball. I'll keep going on and on. There'll always be basketball in between, whatever it is, though. But man, this has so far been a really good series, and it really has played on the heartstring. And like I said, I'm not the Lakers fan, and I'm riding this emotional roller coaster. I'm not gonna lie to you, as a Knicks fan, there was a place in time, right, where I'm watching this series and I'm like, damn, it really would have been fun to be a Lakers fan. Like look at all this winning they doing. Look at all this excitement. Look at all this effort. Look at all these beautiful moves that they're doing. Like you realize that they really didn't. The Lakers haven't had two back-to-back losing seasons really. Under Dr. Bust, that didn't happen until his degenerate. No, sorry, let me not call it. Until his underqualified son took over. I don't want to call his son degenerate. I'm just saying though, he wasn't his papa. Papa was a Rolling Stone. You're just a stationary pebble. Let's get into some football, man. Like I know you guys want to like, yo, AOT. Let's get into some football. We're about into the second hour of the show. Let's get into a little bit of football. Like, we had an exciting week. We had a real exciting week. We already told you, like, if you're a Jets fan, if you're a Giants fan, if you're a Bills fan, like this was an exciting week for you guys. Like, you guys helped look like the city on fire. We had some question mark games, right? We had some bad performances, some good performances, surprising performances. Geno Smith. We're talking about surprising performance. Geno Smith, out of all of them, maybe the most surprising player. He may be the most exciting, not exciting, wrong word I'm looking for. Underrated player. As it currently stands, he's probably one of the most underrated players out there. And I understand he's going to be underrated, right? But he is doing a job that nobody expected him to do at all. Nobody expected Geno Smith to be technically playing like one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Now I know Seattle only, I reckon they're only 2-2. But in those two victories, Geno Smith was looking like the Geno Smith that you thought she should or could have been as a high draft pick. Like, he's looking like, yo, what was this guy this whole entire time? But you know what, though? It's a good game plan, right? And that's what you get out of Seattle. That is definitely it's a good game plan that they have for Geno Smith. It's the early Russell Wilson game plan, right? Take the dink and dunks. You don't have to go for anything special, right? We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna play good defense. We're gonna play underneath. We don't have to go over the top too often. If you see it, take it. Use your athleticism to get away from defenders, but we don't need you running on every play. Just to be elusive and be efficient as you can be. And if you get a 75 completion rate and only have 175 yards, as long as we got the dub, we good. But Geno's doing more than that. Geno isn't just out here talking about, oh, I'm just gonna take what the defense has given me. No, last week was that the Sunday night game? No, okay. Last week, they become responsible. Like Geno Smith, the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions become responsible for the highest scoring games so far this NFL season. Right? Seahawks beat the Lions 48-45. And I know you're saying, like, whoa, it took all that, and I'm over here bragging about Geno. I'm just talking about Geno being consistent. And who saw this out of Geno? And honestly, this Geno Smith performance, even though I know he didn't put up 6 touchdowns, what Geno Smith is doing right now is no different to me than what Tua is doing. Is no different than me than what Chase Young is doing. whatever the Dallas Cowboys quarterback is. Like, it's not any different. Like, it looks cute, but do any of you guys trust it? Can you say that? Do you trust Geno Smith all year to do what he's doing? Do you trust Chase to do what he's currently doing for the Cowboys? To do this all year? Maybe he's the next guy. Maybe. Do you trust Tua to be? Well, Tua's just a whole different situation at this point, right? I've told you guys time and time again. I don't. Before the listen, just because he's injured doesn't mean I have to go soft on him. Can't stop, won't stop. Didn't like him, don't like him. Thought he was overrated. If I had I can't remember if he was picking the number one. I don't think he was picking the number one pick of the. I think he was. Did the Dolphins have the number one pick? Sorry, he got me speed racing over here. Let me slow down a little bit. I think he was the number one pick that year. I'm probably by the Dolphins, but I would have picked Jalen Hurts. I think that Jalen Hurts is the better quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts has been the better quarterback through college, and we even see him now the better quarterback through the first beginning of the season. Now, the crazy thing about it, if Tua didn't get injured, we're probably sitting here today. God, this is gonna hurt. Listen, if you're a Dolphin fan, especially if you know me, start recording your screen. It's not going to be too often that you're going to hear me say nice things about the Dolphins. But what's going on here? If Tua had not gotten injured, we're probably sitting here talking about the Dolphins and the Eagles as the only two undefeated teams in the league. We're probably still doing that if Tua's not injured. Because they probably beat Cincinnati. They won't beat the Jets, I'm going to tell you that much. We'll put money on it if you want. Holler at your boy, however you want it. Listen, I'm going to put on the line my ex-girlfriend's asshole. Like I said, if I lose, you guys can have all of it. Now, we got Thursday night football coming up. We have the Jets coming up. And trust me, guys. And folks, don't forget, next show we'll do our picks. We'll do our picks on Friday, right? We do have a Thursday night football game coming up between Indiana and Denver. And I don't think I'm stretching this by saying this is a must-win for Russell Wilson. I feel like most games are must-wins for Russell Wilson early on in his Denver career because he has not looked impressive. He's looked very mediocre. He's looked very Kirk Cousins-ish. And from what we see now in Seattle, and from out of Geno Smith, and what we're seeing out of Russell Wilson in Denver, it is leaving it up for a great debate that Russell Wilson was highly beneficial from that system. Even when the Legion of Boom was no longer there, even after Marshawn Lynch left, and having Pete Carroll orchestrate an offensive game plan and a defensive game plan, and be the headmaster for your team, can directly correlate to wins and losses and the productivity of the quarterback. Because we're seeing in Denver where we don't know if the head coach is competent. We don't know if it's the OC holding him back. We don't know if this is or this is the let Russ cook tour. But in 4 weeks, it's been mediocre. In 4 weeks, we are looking at we're looking at a Denver team that we're not sure if they'll make the playoffs. Think about that. I know it's early, but you're telling me outside of saying, well, they got Russell Wilson, and actually look at how Russell Wilson has played so far and not projected that he's going to turn this all around, which I'm not saying that he can't. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the ability. I'm not saying that he's not that dude. I'm just saying, can you fully look at it currently, how it's seated right now, and say Denver's going to be one of those new 6 teams that make it into the playoffs? Can you say that? I don't think that's. I don't know if you can yet. Now, Indiana's quarterback situation isn't any better, right? It really isn't. They have Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan looks like he sucks, and Matt Ryan looks like that he should be sitting right beside Cam Newton, wherever Cam Newton's at. He looks horrible. And now, what's even worse now is that you have this Indiana team that didn't make the playoffs last year, ironically, right? They're also going to be missing Jonathan Taylor this week. So, if you guys want your first...
The MyT Fantasy Football Tips. Not winning tips, just tips.
Just the tip? Just the tip. Just the tip.
Let's just say what I want involves much more than just the tips. Just the tips. What I want is much more than just the tips.
So, easy tip. Take Jonathan Taylor out your starting lineup. If you haven't already, possibly even make sure you have his backup handcuffed. Right? If you were an owner of Jonathan Taylor, you should very much be trying to make sure that you have his backup, because the moment that you heard that he was injured, you should have been thinking, oh my God, woe is me. What the hell am I going to do without one of my top-notch running backs? I need a replacement. You need a replacement? Handcuff his backup, because somebody still needs to get the lion's share of those touches. And you're gonna want to try to make sure that he's that, and you're gonna hope that he's that guy. Now, not only should you not start Jonathan Taylor missing is probably gonna be the number one reason why Denver beats Indy. Like that's probably the number one reason. Denver is still kind of looking a little suspect, but without Indy having a serviceable quarterback, and without them having their starting running back, I find it hard to pick them in this game. Remember, Indiana is also one of the few teams that was in a division, right? Or in a division where all teams played and none of them came out with a victory that week. Yeah, they're 1-2-1. Now, as surprising it is, right, that we tell you about, if Tua would have been healthy, right now we're sitting here and talk about the Dolphins probably being 4-0. But here we are at about here we are a quarter into the season. We're 4 weeks in. We're 4 weeks in already. Next week is week 5. Next week is week 5, people. We're here already. And guys, don't forget that we do have a raffle that's currently going on. We have a raffle that we are conducting for In Art We Lust 3. We are raffling off tickets for that event for October 21st. So if you would like to join our raffle, you can win 2 free tickets. When we started off the season, there's a lot of surprising teams. There's a lot of surprising teams. I don't think anybody had the Giants at 3-1. I don't think anybody has Dolphins at 3-1. A few people may have had Philly at 4-0, only because Philly is a NFC championship game making favorite. So that's really the only reason why Philly may be one of those. But let's take a quick snapshot. Right? Of what we have here. We have Miami on top of the AFC East. They got a record of 3-1. Unexpected. Jacksonville Jaguars. I know, right? As soon as the Jacksonville Jaguars get mentioned, my phone is like, oh, there must be a joke coming. Nope. The joke is the fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars are on top of the AFC South with a record of 2-2. Now remember, this is a team that shares a conference with, or shares a division with the Tennessee Titans. That great running game, but they have a horrible quarterback. They have a joke of a quarterback. Indianapolis Colts, same thing. Great running game, joke of a running back. Joke of a quarterback. Kansas City 3-1 on top of their division. That's not a surprise to. Right, that's not a surprise to anybody. Right, but one of the things that we talked about earlier, right, with the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson, is that part of the reason that make his journey so tough is that the Denver Broncos, right? The Denver Broncos are sharing a division with the Chargers and with the Kansas City Chiefs. We don't expect the Kansas City Chiefs to be falling off. We thought the Kansas City Chiefs may have a rough time in this division with the addition of Russell Wilson. And then you're talking about how the Las Vegas Raiders have looked over the last couple of years, right, with Derek Carr. But I think I may have mentioned to you already, right? Right, we're gonna play this game a little bit later about who's gonna make it to the playoffs and who's not, because we've been holding off on this for a couple of weeks now. We've been wanting to play this for about the second week of the season. We said, you know what? Let's wait until we get into week 4. Let's wait until we've gotten past a quarter of the season and take a good look at it. Take a really good look at what's going on. Like I said, so Denver isn't performing as well as we thought they would. And Kansas City isn't having a hard time that we thought that they would either. This may be a runaway division for the Kansas City Chiefs. Not surprised they're on top of their division. We have the Philadelphia 76ers on top of the NFC East, which isn't the NFC least anymore, like we used to call them. I know you guys can hear all of that in the background. I know it's hey, very fair. But while most people thought that Philly may lead this division, and it's probably those, and most people had it coming down between Philly and the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody saw Philly leading this division, but then also having the Dallas Cowboys at 3-1 when they don't have their starting quarterback since week 1, and also the Giants being 3-1 as well. Like that was the crazy part. Like more people thought that Washington was going to have a bounce back season, and they thought the Giants were going to. But here we go. Washington with a 1-3 record. On top of the NFC North, you have the Minnesota Vikings. Right? And the Minnesota Vikings, the only loss they have is Kirk Cousins on primetime. We know things are going to even out eventually, because that's just the natural course of things when it comes to Kirk Cousins. But Kirk Cousins right now with the Minnesota Vikings are 3-1. The only game they've lost was that primetime game. That's been it. So far, everybody else has everybody else on that team, and they've been pretty much been cooking, and they've been holding up. Now again, it's early. It's early for Minnesota. Now I don't think Minnesota may be one of those things. I don't think that we saw them coming. Right? I don't think anybody saw them coming. At least not in this way, because and do you think that they're gonna stay as the?
What are you doing tomorrow? I think listen. There you go. Are you dealing with? He's the one. He's the one.
So
That's good for his podcast.
when I no, it's okay. You want to come talk it out? Like, listen, you want to come talk it out? Come on, it's just you can. It just be me and you. Yes, I'm dead ass. You want to come talk it out? Come talk it out.
I'm not out of charge.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, can they see me?
Well, it depends if you want to be seen.
I don't want to be seen.
Then you can just pull up right here and just talk.
What do I talk about?
What anything you
This
want
is so cool!
Go for it, Bree.
This is so cool!
How you doing? My name is Talon.
Hi, I'm
How
Bree.
you doing, Bree?
Oh my goodness.
And welcome to the Mighty.
Wait 1 second. This is so fucking cool. Oh my god. Sorry.
Welcome to the Mighty Sports Podcast. Thank you very much. Well, since I got you guys' attention, right? A couple of things I'd like to mention. I am doing a raffle, right? I'm raffling off tickets for an art show that's going to be taking place on October 21st. The art show is called In Art We Lust 3.
I work at that place that you guys are going to be there.
The Coral Springs Center of
Yes,
the
I
Arts.
do.
So I am raffling off two. It's only $1 per ticket. So if you would like to get yourself a ticket for a chance to win, I am raffling off some tickets. I'll be announcing the winner next week.
You have to be here for the winner announcement.
You don't have to be here for the winner announcement. You just have to be here to buy the tickets. But you don't have to be here.
What do you get? Admission?
If you win, you get 2 free tickets to the event.
Okay. And the event is the 21st October?
21st October. So
What day of the week is that?
that's Friday. That's next Friday.
All right.
No,
No.
week after.
$1 a ticket?
Week after.
Week after Friday. Sorry, 2 weeks Friday from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because today's the 7th. Yeah.
You guys won. I got $2.
Now, my other announcement to you guys.
We're gonna put
I also do sports trivia. So if you ever want to play my sports trivia game, the prize are doobie snacks.
What is it? Is that what it really is, what you're saying?
Yeah.
I will. It's one thing.
Yes, it
It's music.
it means the same thing in every world.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I get free tickets,
I want
but
it.
I'll be working. Sorry.
All right. So if you guys would like to
Oh,
join
sorry.
the
Wait, I got $1.
wonderful.
We're gonna put it in. What's your name?
Listen, because you work there.
Mike.
Mike.
I'm eating all of these names that are supposed to be.
All righty. And just have him fill out the top portion, and then return that to me, and I'll put his name in the
You got a
jar.
pen, Bob?
I do. I have tons of pens. I have pens on pens on pens on pens.
Oh, no.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh, it's a wonderful art show. Like they're
They're
gonna be having a raffle there. There's gonna be live body art.
Even more better.
Hey Bree, tell them about it. You know more about it probably than I do. There's gonna be live.
I don't have the show info in front of me.
But there's gonna be live body art. There's gonna be raffles. There's gonna be a
My body art thing?
body art. Yes, there will be body art. It's an all female immersive event. So female DJs, female vendors, female artists, female canvases. And like so, it's a pretty awesome event. And then any money made there is going to go. It's going to be going to the cancer foundation. One of the breast cancer things. They're also raising money for that as well.
You know more about me. You should take my job.
Well, I know the director.
Cole, breast cancer executives.
What's that?
Ann Cole, that's
Ann Cole? Breast cancer?
The Susan G.
Susan.
I don't know. You know what?
And Susan.
It wasn't. I don't think it's specifically the Susan G. Coleman breast.
That's what I was saying. That's
Because
what
I know. I think Susan G. does her own thing. I've done her event in South Florida before. Yeah, she does kind of her own big old parade and everything downtown. It's super. If you ever get a chance to go to one of those, definitely hit up that as well.
Raffle.
But yeah, they'll have a DJ. They'll have raffles there.
Look at that.
They'll have vendors, body art, everything. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do my podcast from there yet, but I'm debating it. At least I'll wait for me to contact you. So if you want to put your phone, email will work as well. You'll be getting an email from mytsports@gmail.com. If you see it.
I'm listening to Smith.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
That's the funny one.
The beautiful thing about a podcast, you talk about whatever you want. This podcast specifically is a life podcast that revolves around sports.
Oh, so I would just be fucking them up. Are we allowed to curse on podcast? And can they hear me?
They can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, it's okay. Yes, you can cuss on my podcast.
Oh,
Okay. So podcast, like it's like any other show. It's really the rules of the individual that is working the production. I technically have no rules, and the podcast that I require rules for, I don't do in public because everything in public is too unpredictable. Music, people, language, background noise, everything. But I am here every single Wednesday.
do you need all of this stuff for a podcast?
No. For a podcast, you need this and this. But I don't just do an audio show. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let's see. You don't see what I see yet, but let me help you out. I also have.
Oh.
We are also very much live everywhere. So we're live. So right now we're currently live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram. I just lost my Instagram one. So we're live on Twitter. We're live almost anywhere that you can be live at. And then you can always catch the re-ear anywhere to just anywhere you listen to music. So if you have Pandora, you can find me on Pandora. If you have Spotify, you can catch me on Spotify. If you have YouTube, you can catch me on YouTube.
Do you have a TikTok?
I have a TikTok as well.
So one goes to him, one goes to me.
So the one with your contact information comes to me, and then you keep the other one. Because I need your contact information.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be in the box office though.
And you can either scan this or you can tap. You can either tap it, scan it, or you can tap it or scan it. That's my card, so you can get all my contacts. So with that, you can get the contact from my TikTok, my Facebook, my Instagram.
You have a TikTok?
I have a TikTok.
Okay, cool.
I don't need that right now.
Okay.
Let me go to the event and check it out. It's a lot to fight for.
When you do show up, if you do win,
Yes.
where does he
I
go?
do.
When he goes,
Well, you're gonna call him and tell him all.
yeah, and
I have all the details.
I'll give all the details. And what I'll do, I'll digitally send you the tickets.
Okay. Cool.
If you need any help once you get the tickets, you come
I
find me in the
will. I
box
might
office.
need a date. So you can help me with that.
The date?
The date is October 21st. I'm messing.
No, not the date.
I knew what he
I'm
meant.
working, so I want something like one of your aunts maybe who's free.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I
don't have
know.
any of them.
Yeah.
I'm good friends with well, not good friends.
Happy to see
You could date my grandma. Maybe she'll be
Well,
happy
that
after
hurts
that.
when you say that.
Well, I'm
That
just
just
saying.
really digs.
No, I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying as in like, because I don't have people.
Okay.
Like, as you can tell, I don't got people.
I didn't even think about that.
That's why I'm hanging out with you guys and this young gentleman.
And all making new friends. So let's sit down here.
And everybody's listening
What's
to
your
me
name
on the
again?
podcast.
My name is Talent.
Talent with a T, right?
Talent with a T, like the Eagles ball. I remember that car from back in the day.
Yeah. Captain Mike is most of my moniker.
Captain Mike?
Captain Mike, yeah.
Did you serve in?
No, it's a nautical reference.
Okay.
And
Sea
local.
captain.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, a lot of
understood.
fishing. A lot of onshore, yeah. And no, I do hang around with a certified full-bird colonel.
Mm.
So his is military. So people always get that mixed up. In a way, sometimes it works for me anyway. Respect is respect. Yeah.
How do I
Thanks,
start a
Cal.
podcast?
Okay, well,
I'm not gonna take your place. I promise.
it's okay. See, I'm gonna tell you the beautiful thing about any person that's truly genuine. You can't take their place because our place is not only is it secure in life, but our place is also to help others. So I have no place to take. I am part of a vibe that constantly keeps on moving. I'm part of a wave. Even though I start my own wave, I'm still part of a wave. And my wave, and I'm part of my wave is to make sure other people can also get their own wave as well. So the podcast. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I actually have a lot of questions for you.
So like I said, it's a life podcast that revolves around sports. So what happens is I'm a sports nut, right? So I started my podcast for sports. But times like this pop up. So it means I will never deviate or I'll never shy away from talking about any kind of life subject or anything else not sports. Because, like I said, life is life.
Can anybody reply back?
Yes. Anybody can reply back that's listening.
Okay.
Let me get that off screen because I want that somewhere else. So I can stop looking at the back of my
Are
head.
you sure it's okay for me to talk about my stuff on here?
As long as
Because
you...
you're sports. I mean, I can make it into sports. My grandma's like one football player, and then my dad's another football player, and then they're all trying to tackle me and shit like that. I can make it into sports. I don't know a lot, but I can make it into sports.
You don't have to. You don't have to. No, listen. Life topics is always best because we talk sports to get away from life, at times, and everybody still has life to go through, and you may say something that helps somebody else in one of their scenarios and be like, you know what? I'm glad he kind of broke into this for a while. I talk a lot of investment as well too on the podcast sometimes. So I find times and ways to make sure that we talk over stuff. Also, guys, don't forget to go out and vote. It is about that time for you guys to register to vote. Remember the change that you guys are looking for, that change that you keep tweeting about, that change you keep clicking about, that change you keep ranting about. It starts with you voting, and you definitely want to make sure you go out and vote for your local officials. All that energy that you keep putting into president, that's dead weight. Vote for your local officials. Your local officials are the ones that keep affecting your day-to-day lives that you keep complaining about if you do have complaints. They're coming up in November 8th. Make sure you're also not one of those states that are trying to secretly pass slavery. There's about 5 of them out there. You make sure that you guys go out and get that done too. Register to vote and then go out and vote because the change that you want starts with you. All right, so let's get back.
No, you're good. I was admiring.
All right, so to start a podcast, they have different platforms that you can use to record your audio and then share it to any means that you need to share. I personally use Podbean. That's what you see there.
Gotcha.
So I use Podbean. Podbean isn't the only one. There are other ones like Anchor and
My question is, if I start a podcast, can I talk about my bullshit that goes on in life?
Yes. So
like, say if I have beef with somebody, can I go on that podcast and just rant without putting names and putting people out there? But
let's replace the word podcast with my own show.
Oh,
there you go.
That's what a podcast is. I like that. Welcome to 2022.
So now replace what you just asked me. Can I talk about anything I want to talk about on my own show?
Oh, okay. So the answer is yes.
There you go. Talk about whatever.
I like you. You're cool.
You talk about whatever your heart desires. You talk about what you're passionate about. You because you don't know sports. You wouldn't want to talk sports. But this podcast is about everything. You understand that they have been podcasts started about how to survive a zombie apocalypse after the breakthrough of what's that zombie show called? The Walking Dead.
Oh, never.
So find what you're passionate about: finances, sports, life. I just want to complain about my family because when I got an auntie tackling me from this side. I got a sister tackling me from this side. Somebody doesn't want to go in concussion protocol. I heard a little bit. They heard it too.
That's awesome.
So, yes, you can get in there, and believe it or not, you're in the form of a community. People will listen, and as much as you're just there ranting, people may come in there and start giving you advice like, hey girl, listen man, don't be letting them fuck up your energy. They can make your soul, and they can break your soul, and they'll help you get through some times.
I like
I've been on
that.
a podcast where two chickens got married.
Sorry?
I've been.
Sorry?
You heard me. I'm gonna
Two chickens
repeat.
getting married?
I,
Did they like squawk too? They did? Oh
I've been on a
my
podcast.
god. Wait, was there a ring that fit one of the fingers?
No, I don't think there was a ring
Damn,
involved.
that's
I
not
don't
a
think there
real
was. I don't.
wedding.
But I've been on a podcast where two chickens have gotten married.
That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. I want to be like you.
Mm.
Not with the sports, but I want to be like you. That's pretty awesome.
Did you keep my card already?
Yes, I do. It is in my wallet.
Oh no, it's not a keepable card.
Oh, can I keep it though?
No,
It's so nice.
I know, but it's a scannable card.
Okay, scan it. I was gonna keep it.
But thank you for wanting to keep it. I'm getting some keepable ones in the mail.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been
you
trying to
need
get
to make
I've been trying to get your director, Nikki. I've been trying to get her on the podcast forever. She could come talk about your event coming up on the next couple of weeks.
I can do it. I'm gonna go pee.
Understood. Oh man, this is the beautiful part of doing the podcast live, because we get to run into the most interesting people ever. We get the opportunity to also get our raffle on, right? And that is the most important thing. Like, you understand? Like I think you guys have heard me. Like, I don't even want to take tips right now. I'm like, yo, if you think that you got a dollar to spare to tip me, don't even do that. Go ahead and buy a raffle ticket. Go ahead and buy a raffle ticket. So, are you guys sports fans to partake in sports trivia? Not you.
I don't
Okay.
know if I'll be able to do the guy that's coming through here in a minute. Will be
Okay.
able to handle it.
Captain? Okay, well, we'll talk with Captain.
No, Mike.
Oh, Mike. Okay.
Captain Mike.
Yeah, we'll talk with him and see if he wants to play.
No, he'll do it. Sports trivia, he'll do it. Very good.
So let's get back into these division leaders. How much time do we have? Okay, so we're coming up on about we're coming about 5 minutes or so. We're gonna be taking our next break. As you guys, if you're familiar, the individuals that are listening on Podbean on the call-in line, we're gonna end up losing you guys. Now, don't you fret. There's a new feed already prepared for you guys. So as you lose this one, let's hop into the new one, and you'll be able to and you be in the waiting room for the phone calls. Now, everybody else, you're gonna end up hearing a commercial that we have. So just know that that's coming up pretty soon. You guys know how I do here. I like to give out that instruction so that when I lose the individuals on Podbean, they're like, oh shit, I lost them. Damn, how you just gonna end like that? Nah, Pimpin', we coming back. We coming right back. We got a whole another hour possibly to get into. Possibly. Let's see how this thing continues to work out. Why isn't this charging? Let's try something else. My charging station is not going on well. Back. Now, as we were talking about before we started talking to Bree, there's a lot of interesting teams that are currently sitting on top of their divisions, right? And we may not have seen all of them coming, and we probably shouldn't see some of them coming. Remember, there's a big thing in the NFL, and one of the key things in the NFL, one of the intriguing things in the NFL, is the fact that every single year there's been a turnover of at least 6 teams. Now, if we go through the AFC so far, right? I think I want to say that I'm pretty safe in saying the first team not going to make the playoffs is probably going to be Tennessee, and then the other one is probably going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. Tennessee currently has a record of 2-2. They still have plenty of time to bounce back, but remember, they're in that division that we talked about earlier, right? Where You don't trust their quarterback, but you don't know. Tennessee's not even in the hardest. They're not even in the hardest division. They could probably still make the playoffs. I'm lying there. They can probably still make the playoffs. It'll probably be exactly how it was last year. They may be the only team, or maybe they're not this year. Now, one of the most surprising teams on top of their division. And I don't know how I skipped this team. Oh, no, I did. One of the most surprising teams on top of their division. And we didn't see them coming at all. Is Cleveland. Cleveland Browns are shockingly, surprisingly, like we're talking about, like if Chill Will would have bet me my house versus his house that the Browns were gonna come in for 3-1 record, I would have been like, yeah, I'm taking that bet. I'm about to have a new crib in Cleveland, and I'm gonna sell immediately because I'm gonna have no use for it there.
Cleveland, this is for you.
The Cleveland Browns have a record of 3-1. Now, the Cleveland Browns are another team that didn't make it last year, but they're on top of the division this year. Like the Miami Dolphins didn't make it last year, but they're on top of the division this year. I don't think anybody sees that sticking, so that it'll probably end up being Buffalo. End up probably being Buffalo again, leading that division. Kansas City will continue probably to remain on top of that division, and Tennessee may, but it may not be easy. This may be that year where Tennessee goes from 12-5 to 9-8, and if they're 9-8, that means they could be 8-9. And if they're 8-9, that means Jacksonville can pass them. I still feel like Tennessee is going to be one of the first teams to not make the playoffs. I don't have it out on Cincinnati yet. I'm not sure how to gauge Cincy. But I will tell you how I feel about Cincy right when we come back from this commercial break.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They're brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They're doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier. They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier.
Oh, there's only one way to do that. Like, were you just proposed to on air?
Best podcast you had.
Listen,
Better than the chickens.
listen. The podcast, the chicken wasn't my own podcast, but guys, you just heard a reverse proposal right here. It's the first.
Marrying the guy for the last name.
It's the only reverse proposal I've ever witnessed in my life. It was magical. I think every guy over here revered like, yo, I grow up to like you're my role model. I hope I grow up to be like you one day, having women propose to me. Like I want her to take me to the basketball game and see my name on the jumbotron, and she'd be like, "Talon, will you marry me?" Like if your girl, like you know what though? Let me ask this question: if the woman proposes to you, do you have to take her last name?
Okay, fellas, I got a question. If the woman proposes to you, do you have to take her last name?
Yeah, I paid attention. Jaeger bomb. Woo. I haven't had a Jaeger bomb since Alvita's Day. You guys thought you all start chiming in, right? You guys let me know what you think about that, right? Now, you guys let me know what you think about that. If the girl proposes to you, do you have to take her last name? Is that the deal? Like I'm curious if you have to do that. So people, we'll come back. I have a question for that table. If the girl proposes to you, do you have to take her last name? I'm asking. If the girl proposes to the guy,
He missed it.
yeah. You think so? You would?
The question is, the girl proposes and
If the girl proposes to the guy, does the guy have to take her last name? Why not?
a little kitty. That doesn't.
No, but that actually makes sense because if a guy proposes to a girl, she takes the last name. Why can't if a girl proposes
Not
to a guy?
always.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk. So I told you, it's a life podcast that revolves around sports.
She's woman, I am hearing roar, and she'll never watch a kitchen floor.
Yeah, that is.
I'm just saying, like if she's the one that takes you out, you know what I mean? Like that day, she's like, you know what? Because you know, in this day and age, we grow up in a lot of equal roles. Like, think about it. Let's ask the people over here.
Who do we have over there by the door? I have a question. Hey, you, everybody guys by the door. I have a question for you. If the girl proposes to the guy, does the guy have to take her last name?
No, negatory.
Now, let me ask you: Is your negative answer just because of tradition?
That's good.
Gentlemen, excuse me, kind sir, walking by. I have a question.
If the girl proposes to the guy, does the guy have to take her last name?
Listen,
Wait, no, I have a question for the podcast person.
come on.
What is your answer?
What is
Oh,
I would consider it.
there we
No.
go.
I'm gonna tell you this.
There we go.
I would give it. I would, in this,
For your name?
I would consider. Listen, if my girl proposes to me because I've been dropping the ball, and she goes, but you gotta take my last name though.
No. Let's not say you're dropping the ball.
No.
Let's say
Well, that's what's happened here. Otherwise, she wouldn't be asking you that.
Exactly. Because see, okay, you know what though?
Let's just say she was like the person that's like, okay, you know what, babe? You know what? We're gonna go out to dinner. We're gonna go to so and so. Okay? Like, doesn't matter who's paying, but she's making the plans. She's making the trips, right? Now she proposes to you.
She bought the ring. She gets down on bended knees.
Exactly. Would you take her last name? Yes or no?
I'm gonna consider it. I don't know my answer yet. I just came up with this. Listen, I don't know if
She
I.
had a ring and everything down on the knee.
If that's the stipulation, I may. See, I can't 100% say yes because I'm still giving it thought. I would give it so much thought. Like I would give it months of thought, weeks of thought. I'm gonna say yes. We get married. I'm not saying It's not that I need months to determine if I want to marry you because of that. It's just like when I look at it, like, damn, I gotta take your last name. You know, like it brings a different element. See, now it brings a different element that you're like, damn, I never ever considered giving up my last name. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. You want to come closer?
It's gonna get serious though.
Okay, let's talk.
It's gonna get real deep.
There's gonna be a woman doing a podcast on at the in Art We Lust 3 event.
Oh, really?
I think her name was Stephanie. I think. So if I don't do my podcast, I'm joining her show. I'm all about OPP, other people's podcast. I'm all about crossing streams.
Yeah.
It was like 2 different puns in there. Oh,
I'm just give me a moment, please.
OPP is a rap group, and I mean OPP is a song by a rap group, but the song was other people's privates.
Oh.
You know, so when I say I'm down,
but you're just gonna change it for podcast.
OPP. So when I say I'm down with OPP, I'm down with OPP's podcast.
Gotcha.
And then you get it crossing streams, like video streams. But you know, as a guy,
So you're not gonna be hosting?
I may do my own show. I haven't determined that because she just presented it to me recently. I wasn't thinking about it. It wasn't even on my radar that I can do my own show for them because it was an all-female event. I didn't want to be the one guy doing the show. Like I thought it was an all-female event. I don't want to be the one guy doing a sports show. Like, you know, hey, man in the room, you going sport.
That would get you a lot of views because you'd be the only male figure doing it.
It would. That's part of the reason why.
So that shows that you're very respectful towards women.
Then I definitely will do it then.
Yeah.
Because if that's how it made. If that's, I wasn't thinking about that.
That's how I see it. As in, like, okay, this is the only male that's gonna do the podcast, gonna explain everything and everything like that, and give everybody the feeling. That shows a lot of respect towards women. Like, you're going out of your way as a male to show other people what the female is doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're supporting that female, not like as a relationship type of thing, but you're still like, you know what, woman power. Like, I'm gonna show that.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. That seems pretty nice to me.
Well, okay, well,
but
yeah, I definitely
it's
will
your
then.
podcast.
I definitely will.
It's up to you.
But I definitely will then. I definitely will then. Now hearing it from your point of view, I have
Wait, that means you're gonna be there?
I had every plan on being there. Yes, I plan on
You
being
should
there.
go to the box office and say hi. I'm sorry, I'm only strict to the box office. I can't really get them to go do shit.
Listen,
but I'll be in the box office.
I will definitely make sure I make a pit stop at the box office and say hi.
Yeah, come say hi. I would be very happy. I don't have a lot of friends. Every familiar face counts. That's how I look at it.
Well, I definitely will come by and say hi. I definitely will.
Please do.
I will.
Thank you.
So back to this last name conversation.
Okay, so my it's gonna get real dark. Okay, We're gonna bring up the world famous. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but the world famous whatever. Immigrants.
Okay.
Say you're in love with an immigrant, dating an immigrant, right?
Okay.
For about, let's just say 5-6 years plus,
Oh,
right?
okay, damn.
Like you're with them, you
Like, it's been a
know
while.
them and everything,
Okay.
right? Now, you give that person citizenship. Does that person get the last name, or does it take the girl's last name? Because you're giving the citizenship. Or does it get hyphenated?
Oh, so you're saying like same scenario where the girl proposes to me?
No.
Oh no, I'm just.
You guys are getting.
Oh, just for citizenship?
I mean, it's
Well, we've
up to
also
the
been together for
person.
5 years.
Yeah.
But it also helps her get.
Okay, let's rephrase it. Let's not say girl and boy. Let's just say you have an immigrant. You're dating the immigrant, regardless, boy or girl, whatever, right? Now, are you taking the immigrant's last name, or is the immigrant taking your last name? That's the real question.
In my scenario, from American person to American guy to female immigrant, she'll be taking my last name. Also, she didn't propose to me. Like,
No, she did.
She did propose to me.
I'm not saying as in guy and girl. Like the guy is the immigrant and the girl's not. The girl can be the immigrant and the guy can be not.
I'm saying in my scenario, are we also put in the fact that the girl proposes to the guy?
Who the citizen proposes to the immigrant.
Okay.
Who's taking the last name?
Okay.
Is the immigrant taking the citizen last name, or is the citizen taking the immigrant last name? That's my question.
Oh, okay. So this is just in a scenario of citizen and immigrant.
Yeah. Because obviously everybody's gonna say that a girl should take the guy's last name. So let's make it a little difficult.
Oh, this is no. Okay, let's take genders out of it. Let's just put
Yeah.
citizen versus
Because what if
non-citizen.
there's a girl and girl or a guy and guy? What are you gonna do? There's no boy and girl type of thing.
In that scenario, I would leave it to whoever is the citizen. Like, take their last name since you're the one trying to prove citizenship. Like, yeah, take that.
Thank you, Oscar. We're about to go on a showdown. Thank you.
Which is funny because, like, I think my mom has been in that scenario.
Oh, really?
I think so. That dude's last name isn't Edie. But like I said, see, also, what we're also talking about, though, is also to unthink everything that we've been taught initially about marriage and who takes whose last name.
That is correct.
Like, you have to break down, because like I said, I guarantee you, even their response, right? And that whole entire table, almost everybody's response has been because it's just been it. I learned this, something I learned in business, right? If somebody's best response is like to a solution or to a question, it's just kind of always been that way. Then if somebody presents you with a new way to do it, then you may want to look at that new way to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of always been that way. It's never really been progressive for a lot of people.
Exactly.
So, like that. I said that. I just thought about that shit. Thank you for helping me with that. It forces you to really undo personal beliefs, generational beliefs, society beliefs, like, and really like, okay, she proposed to me. Okay, normally the guy proposes, and then that's how you know, or even say in a reversal road where, let's say Oprah marries a regular dude, right? I'm just
I think
saying.
every dude that every celebrity marries is a regular person.
Some of them do it, some of them don't. Like they sometimes they crossbreed amongst celebrities.
That's true.
You know, like, but let's say like Oprah marries a regular dude. If that regular dude goes up like, hey, after today, my name is John Winfrey, like, I get it, like, and I would understand it in that situation. So, in scenarios of main breadwinner, now how much? See, because that's what that scenario was main breadwinner versus somebody that isn't a main breadwinner. How much of a difference of being a main breadwinner does it need to be for you to want to accept taking on that person's last name? Because see, I know
it all depends on how much you love that person.
See, I guarantee you, most
name
regular
is just a name.
Exactly.
Unless you're like some famous person where you gotta live on the legacies, but a name is just a name.
So then, ask the same question.
For example, I'm gonna give you a perfect example.
I'm listening.
My name is Bree.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what my last name is, because at the end of the day, whatever I do from this moment to other people, they're gonna remember, oh shit, that was Bree. Bree was the one that did. It doesn't matter about last name. Bree's the one that did this. Bree's the one that was there for me. Bree, blah, 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 whatever, et cetera, right? So I don't think it matters who takes whose last name. Me, I'm the only child. Like, there's no sons. There's no sons to live down the name, right? Me, I want to get my name hyphenated. When I get married, my last name is going to be joint on with my partner. Now, if they got a problem, they got to suck it because it's not my problem, right? I already decided what's going on. That's the problem with society. They really believe, okay, well, you can't be hyphenated. You need to have this person's last name. That's how it is.
See, I didn't even know there was still a stigma on hyphenation. I thought that was at least the acceptable compromise.
You'd be surprised in different types of different types of
Cultures?
Sorry?
Cultures?
Cultures, there you go. I don't know why I was thinking of Hispanic. Sorry.
Listen,
It's a wine talk.
because I have a island background culture as well, so I
Yeah.
understand how, depending on how far your generations are removed, how difficult they can be in their belief systems. It's very antiquated.
rare to see my last name.
What's your last name, if you don't mind me asking?
Gotta put it on for national people.
I can mute it in. That is very catchy.
Thank you. Got that a lot, thanks. But no, look, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very uncommon, you know? So me personally, I would like to live that on. I don't know what it means. I don't know what the legacies are, but I know that it's very uncommon. And I know that my dad is very proud of it. So what matters to me is my dad is that type where, yes, he's brought up in the Caribbean household. Yes, he's brought up with like the Hindu religion and all of that, etc. stuff. No, he doesn't believe in arranged marriage. No, he doesn't believe in like your child, whatever the fuck they say about Indian people, right? I don't know what they say, but whatever they say, it's not
Well,
true because I don't live
If
there.
anybody still thinks about that, I mean, they should have thought that like 300 years.
You'd be
Maybe
no,
even 300 years ago, maybe be too soon.
When
But
I tell people
like
that
now?
my ancestors are from India and I'm Caribbean, the first thing that they ask me is, "Oh, so you're gonna get an arranged marriage?" And I look at them and I'm like, "No,
They're probably
I
still
never even got that brought up before. No."
they'll probably be the same people that would be surprised to find out that Africans have a cell phone. Like, wait, you guys have what?
They have a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of things which I wish I could bless them if I had the money with, but I mean, they got shit. Like, they got nicer clothes than us.
Listen, they have what they have for their areas.
Yeah, they're pretty good people too.
No, I can understand that. Like, I can wholeheartedly understand that.
So it's like for me, last names mean a lot. So I wouldn't ask whoever my significant other is because I'm not going to generalize it to just male and I'm not going to generalize it to just females. But whoever my significant other is, yes, I would take the option of like hyphenating the last name. I would never choose their last name over my last name.
So now, are you possibly thinking of proposing to whoever that is so they can take your last name down?
No, I have nobody in my life.
I know not right now. You plotting out in the future, like, you know what? I'm gonna propose to whoever I want to marry because they're gonna take my last name because I proposed to them.
I mean, I would hope so. I mean, if they can't hyphenate my last name, no, I wouldn't keep the marriage.
That'll be the deal breaker. That'll be the
Yeah.
ultimate, like, I'm not losing this. You
Because
guys,
I'm very-
you guys hear this, right?
I'm very compromised with a lot of things. But the last name would have to really be like, nah, I can't.
I know you guys are listening. I know some of you guys are habitual line steppers, right? When it comes to your relationship, right? You have to understand when there's things that you can line step with and some things that you can't. You heard the cross line. We all have our red flags. We all have that one thing like, yo, I'm not giving this up, right? And if this is a deal breaker, we all have our deal breakers. You guys here, pay attention to your girl's deal breaker. Pay attention to the deal breakers of whoever you're courting. Because if you're figuring like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna dance all over this deal. Then just leave her alone. Don't waste her time. Go somewhere else. Don't waste their time. Go somewhere else because you already know that you don't. If you know that you can't abide by their deal breaker, just go ahead and walk away. It's okay. There's no shame in turning around and walking away and finding somebody that can meet you on your terms.
So I saw a quote, and I don't know where it came from. I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, it's okay.
But
So listen,
the quote
we all
really
learn something
got
from
out for
TikTok
me.
every once in a while.
And it said, and I know it's so cliche, don't get me wrong, I know it's cliche, but it said, if you guys, it's okay to break up with each other, or it's okay to not be with that person that you want to be with because they're not ready.
Mhm.
And it's okay to wait on them for a while for them to be ready. But it has to have chemistry. And that really spoke to me because I've been in not a lot of relationships, but I've been in nice relationships, not nice relationships. They're toxic, but they were good. Like they taught me a lesson. Let's just put it that way.
Which is not for nothing.
They taught me a lesson.
You can learn even from your toxic relationships.
Listen, I
Like
have
from
a
my last
friend.
toxic relationship, I learned how to twist my hair. Like,
I learned how to braid over each other.
like I learned a new
how to braid.
I learned a whole new twisting technique. Thank you. I can't
learned-
stand you, but thank you.
God, that's fucked up. Oh my god.
Thank you, that's
But
what
it's
it is.
true. It's true.
Exactly.
It's
Like
true.
the reason why
I have
listen,
a friend.
I think if it was meant to be, we'll still be together. Like we wouldn't be sitting there like, hey, like you
Well,
were one of the
see,
you were one of the
wait,
toxic
wait.
ones.
That's where the quote comes in.
Mhm.
You guys may be the one, but maybe that person wasn't ready, or maybe you, without knowing, wasn't ready. Now, I used to think it was the other people, but then I realized it was me. So now I'm fixing myself. Now that I'm better, you sit back and you're just like, oh shit, I'm good now. Like, why isn't nobody coming to me? You know why? People find the broken people to make them more broken. because they feed off the person's broken already, so they want to give the love. So they take the person that's broken to get the love and receive the love. Once they feel so good about themselves, I don't need you anymore. Now, I'm not saying that's everybody, but that's a lot of people in our generation if you think about it. That's why I told
A lot of you people
I
are fucked
told
up
my
out there.
sister, I told my friends, I was like, listen, because they all come to me and they're just like, Bree, this person broke my heart, this person, this and that. And I'm like, listen, now I've been through it all. I've been through rape, I've been through sexual assault, I've been through
Sorry to hear that.
I've been through all of that shit. And the only reason why I'm so okay now talking about it is because I realize it's not me. It's those people. But I also realize, and what makes me feel so okay, is that sadly, and I'm not saying this for anybody to go through it, but sadly, I went through it and I learned a lot. I learned how to read people, which is so cliche. I know that. People don't believe in that. I get that. But I do. I know how to know good from bad. I know how to not talk to somebody and then invite people to my table. Like, I know the difference. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I'm going for...
No.
But it depends on the personality.
You guys.
You know?
I wish you guys were. I knew you guys were here to see what just.
What? I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not a gold digger, but like,
no, listen.
It's good people.
You tried to sit by yourself. I call that. You tried to get away and sit by yourself, and then they came and was like, "Well, we like having young, pretty women around us. So, can we sit with you?"
Why do you think I'm here now instead of I know shit. Don't think I'm stupid.
Yeah. So
I'm just really nice. Don't be really nice, people, but don't be mean. Don't be mean.
I'm about to say, like, be nice. It's okay to be nice. Just
but don't be mean.
Don't be
too nice.
Naive.
Yeah.
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 Naive is the word. Like
that's my fucking problem.
Always like.
You know that A$AP Rocky fucking problem? That's my fucking problem. I got 99 problems of being too nice.
It's to be like, you can be in your craziest moment, but in that whole entire you better be looking through your eye and just pay attention just a little bit. Pay attention to see what the fuck is going on. Because in that whole entire mess, you may notice one face right back there, about 4 spots back, that everybody else is smiling, but they ain't. So you may have to register that shit to realize I may have to come out of this euphoric moment and handle a motherfucker. Do you have a problem? You know, or all of a sudden somebody's approaching you and you didn't realize it. Like, always be aware of your surroundings. Like listen, we spread love as the Brooklyn way, but Brooklyn people will rob you. Stop. The Brooklyn people I grew up with.
Trust me, no, my dad lived in the Bronx. I heard all of his stories. I'm so thankful I didn't live in those years.
God,
holy shit.
It was so pure.
My car might have been stolen. No, sorry, parts of my car might have been stolen.
You know, said like it was so pure back then. I'm gonna tell you something. You know, we used to steal from cars. One of the number one things we used to steal from cars. It was weird as shit. Emblems.
Really?
Like if they had BMW or Mercedes emblems, we used to rip them off the Mercedes and then go to school and wear them on our chains the next day. Just collect them.
Really? My dad didn't tell me that story.
Yeah. That's what we used to do.
My dad told me the story where he used to go and he used to like take parts from cars to fix his parts.
Yeah.
His car.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Dad. And you're getting mad at me for going for a guy that like took me away from home? That's pleasant.
Like car parts, like that's usually even now. Like common cars got targeted. Back then, it was a lot of Acuras probably got targeted. A lot of Supras were out there.
No, finish.
No, oh, go ahead. You can.
I'm not an interrupted person. Finish.
Okay, I was like Supras were getting. We're probably.
Supras are so sexy.
They are. And right before they stopped, but yeah, back in the day, they used to get a lot of parts from Supras.
You know, my dad owns an Integra.
Does he?
From 1997. That shit's in the garage. Doesn't work. They didn't put the engine in yet, but still got the pillows that we used to ride in.
Working towards. That's what's up.
But,
you was about to say?
Can I hop on your podcast and talk about something?
You can have a podcast to talk about anything you want to.
But like, can they get a response?
If anybody would like to respond, yeah, you get a response.
But can I get like deep and like judgmental for a second? Because I know as soon as I say my shit, you're gonna get judgmental. I already know. You're not gonna show it, you're not gonna say it, but you're gonna be thinking it. That's how I know people. They're just gonna be thinking it. They're not gonna show it, they're not gonna like say anything. They're just gonna think it, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm not judging you. I'm not. Inside their head, they're gonna be like,
Well, I promise you, we'll have engaging conversation about it.
I met a guy about 5 years ago. I met another guy about 5 years ago.
Okay.
So there's boy A and boy B.
Okay.
I met boy A, fell in love with him, wanted him to start. I wasn't giving up. That's who I am. I'm not gonna give up. If I want somebody, I'm gonna get them. It may take time, but I'll get them.
I'm in that position right
Yeah.
now.
You promise me. I promise myself I'm gonna get them.
You hear
ended
that?
up getting.
I'm gonna get you. I promise.
I hope you take him because he's a good person. So I hope you take
You
him.
gonna get God. I promise. Shoot.
If you know who he's talking about, let him have them. Okay?
She
He
knows.
deserves it. You really do. To be honest with you. Boy A, I was with. I was dating him. We were together. It wasn't officially because he never wanted to claim it, except he wanted to claim it with everybody else in front of him, not in front of my face. So he didn't want to personally tell me, hey, you're my girl, I'm your man. But every fucking body else, he wanted to be like, yeah, that's my girl, that's my girl. Not bitch, not hoe, not slut. That's my girl, that's my girlfriend, that's my woman. Like, go try it. Anyway, so I met boy B. Boy B, obviously, I couldn't be with him because of various reasons, and I didn't go for him. Boy A ended up getting locked up and went to jail. Stupid reason, but whatever. He's an immigrant, so they're gonna just take him.
No, it's not. My coast don't walk like that.
And long story short, my question is, boy B was married. He had kids.
Okay.
That's why I never really went for him.
Okay.
Because that was my strict rule. Don't go for a married man. Regardless if they have kids, just don't go for a married man. I don't care if he's divorced and he has kids. Just not a married man.
Married people in general.
Yeah.
Keep off limits.
He kept trying, right? I'm not gonna lie. He was very persistent with his trying and shit like that. It was very sweet and everything. And then, not gonna lie, this year came by and I came back to the job because I had left the job for a couple of years, maybe like 2 years or so, a year and a half. And I came back and I was good with everybody. Like everybody that I left, I was good with when I came back, except for him. I didn't feel like I was comfortable until I was good with him. Then I realized, okay, you really care for him because you wouldn't really give a shit if he didn't fuck with you. Like, that's just your fucking job. Like, who gives a fuck? So then I realized that I cared about him. Didn't really tell him that. I was just like, yo, what's your problem? Like, et cetera, et cetera. He decided that we were just going to be friends. Okay, cool, whatever. I don't have a car, right? My car's broken, so I rely on Uber. He used to offer to take me home because I had an Uber, which was sweet. You know, a couple of times he took me home. That was it. He dropped me off and I got out and everything was that. One time he asked if he could kiss me because he still had feelings for me. I was like, whatever, like, sure, why not? Like, just do it, who cares? Then after the kiss, I felt something, but I realized that he was still married. Sorry, excuse me. I realized he was still married. So I looked at him and I was like, bro, we can't be doing this. So I don't care how much you like it, but that was it because you're married. He was like, you know, he explained to me how his marriage was and everything. I know there's no excuse, but I do believe I'm giving everybody, like, I do believe in putting your foot, like your shoes in somebody else's shoes. Putting your foot in somebody else's shoes. Sorry. So I kind of did that with him. And I was just like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna see how he feels. He told me that he wasn't on good terms. He slept in a separate room. Yada yada yada. Okay, whatever. I didn't believe him until he started spending nights with me. Not overnight, but he started spending like a long time with me, you know, like till 4 or 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, right? I was like, how can you get by with this if you have a wife and kids? Like, I don't understand. And he reminded me again, well, you do know I'm not on good terms with my wife. Like, we don't have a relationship. I'm like, okay, whatever, yada, yada, yada. He told me a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff I believed at the time. And now somebody snitched on us and told his wife, so he got in trouble. And he told me before, because I decided to leave. I didn't want to stay at that time. I was feeling uncomfortable. Every time I saw him, I had an anxiety attack. I couldn't breathe. I was puking. Like, it wasn't good for me. It wasn't healthy. So I was just like, you know what? My health is more important than keeping this job. Even though I love the job, and trust me, the job paid well. Like, I love this fucking job. It wasn't healthy for me. So I left. Before I decided to leave, he had mentioned to me, listen, I love you and you love me. We're soulmates. We're connected. That's how it's supposed to be. It's going to take a couple months. It's going to take a couple years. My question is, did he really mean that? Is that really what he meant? Because I'm here sitting on a pedestal, like, waiting for something. But is there really something to wait on?
I am going to say no.
Because my
And
thing is,
I'm gonna tell you what.
how do you, if you have a wife and kids, oh, I'm too short. If you have a wife and kids, how do you, if you have a wife and kids, how do you, no, I'm okay. I have a good balance, like a cat. My question is, if you, what was I saying?
If you have a wife and kids,
If you have a
How do
wife
you-
and kids, how do you just get away with like coming to my house early in the morning, taking me to the airport, coming picking me up late at night from the airport? How do you get away with every single night you're in my bed till like 6 o'clock in the morning? How do you get away with that? That has to mean something, right?
no. Married men are very good at lying.
So it doesn't mean anything.
Married men are
I need you to tell me the truth, not sugarcoat.
married men lie about everything. When married men step out of their relationships, unless they are no longer living in that house, 100%, right? And
If they're in another room,
unless they're not living in that house 100%, and you see paperwork, official paperwork where they are filing for a divorce, that married man is lying to you. Married men lie, and they consistently lie about relationship status. Now, some are truthful. Some are actually truthful enough to be like, "Hey, I'm married," and let it fall on the woman what they want to do with that. If they still would like to proceed relationship, but no, most married men, if they're that we're sleeping in other rooms, a lot of times they're in the same bed. You understand? Oh, we're not getting along well. That's surprising to the wife, because he may have, like, you have been so far a golf buddy, you've been an appointment, you've been a friend that needed to ride to the airport, you could have been a numerous amount of things. You could have been, I'm going to my friend's house. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go watch a show. I generally, I know a lot of friends. I have a lot of, and none of them ever listen. So I have a lot of friends that dealt with enough married men to say not one of them were ever truthful about their status. Not one. And it always ended with them going back to their family. Not one of them no. I lie. There was one. So there's a chance. So it's not impossible. There was one. I forgot. I forgot about Captain. There was one.
he's not Venezuelan, is he?
He's Puerto Rican from the Bronx.
I'm not saying it's this man, like.
And honestly, it's also one of those things. I don't think the people around him would have let it fail. It's also that too. It's almost like,
So you're telling me I shouldn't wait?
no, live your life. Live your life. If it happens, it happens. Live your life. Do not wait on married people. Married people have their lives.
Should I wait on the guy that's in jail?
No.
But he took me
How long is he
away-
in? How long is he in jail for?
Okay, I'm free. I have very good stories. Okay, so the guy that got arrested.
Well, 1 second, because I don't want you to tell the story while I'm not here. But I gotta run a commercial because I gotta break the seal.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm gonna go join my friends until you come back.
They didn't join this.
I'm just
team to
letting you
win
know. I'm not gonna
championships.
come up by myself. You're gonna
Become
need to call
famous.
me if you want.
They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They're brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They're doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier.
Apparently she's spoiled before if you're going to take it.
The best things like that, like a free, whatever.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They're brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They're doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier. They didn't join this team to win championships.
We're back. And you guys continue to watch, listen and watch.
They joined
I'm gonna let that
because
commercial
there is
continue to ride out.
work to be done, and only some able to do it.
Podcast guy.
Hey,
What's rocking, man?
what's going on?
Everything. Come on.
Thank you.
History. They're doctors, lawyers, engineers,
I know.
technologists.
You know that the Jets quarterback is into MILFs, right?
Easy on my Jets. We're 2-2, baby.
I know the Jets are 2-2. J-E. Actually, I got something for you. Hold on. You stay right there. We're cutting this commercial short.
We got all new secondary. We got the juice.
Hold on. Jets fan extraordinaire. And Bree, whenever you're ready, come back down.
Listen, the kid is bringing something. We'll see what happens.
I don't trust Wilson yet. I don't trust Zach yet.
I think he's going to show us.
So I'm gonna tell you that. Okay, so
I really think he's going to show us.
until I get Bree back, what I saw.
Oh, man, I got to tell you.
I saw some struggles, but what I saw though, and maybe when I say this, you realize what I saw at the end of that game. So the one thing I do have faith in, he knows how to execute a 2-minute drill. He perfectly executed a 2-minute drill.
What I heard
And
was
if
he
you-
put it down in the huddle.
And if you can
Do this.
execute 2-minute drills, you can have a very good career in this game. Because look how revered Matt Stafford was for being a loser that always comes back.
Favre is now, especially when he's
Oh,
putting
God.
up new stuff now again. But this guy was the last minute kind of character.
Let's remind you again. Brett Favre went from sexual allegations in the NFL, right, to stealing welfare money outside the NFL. He went from sending dick pics in the NFL to stealing money from little kids outside the.
I'm really not happy to hear that.
I'll tell you, but like I grew up loving Brett Favre. I can't even stand to even talk about him anymore.
I got a Jets Favre jersey. I would never probably wear it in public.
You understand? I burnt all my Wrangler jeans.
Yeah.
But
hey, listen.
Let's talk Jets though, because I'm always up to talk some Jets.
Yeah, well, Sauce is supposed to do the man, right? They say the secondary has really been good. And by the way, the safeties were supposed to be like first 3 games. They were not playing well. They got 3 interceptions last week, so they're stepping up.
But you know,
the defensive line was supposed to be the strength of that defense, and the backside's starting to show its colors. It's really cool to see.
I love you guys. I love Jets fans. I'm not bursting the bubble. I just want to rein it in. I just want to rein it in a little bit. I just want to rein it in. Like, but
I won a championship when I was 8. Give me a freaking break.
At least you saw the championship. At least you saw it.
Yeah.
I have not seen a Jets championship. I have not seen a Knicks championship. You understand how miserable my sports life has been? Listen, if it wasn't for the Yankees, I would have nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, it's really great. Curtis Martin, those guys.
God, Curtis Martin, my dude. Curtis Martin is one of my. Listen, Curtis Martin, I consider one of the top.
And by the way, you got me on the broadcast here because there's some RIP this week. We got 2 Jets linemen pass this week. Marvin Powell.
Oh.
And the center. I forget his name, but 2 really stand-up characters. I can't remember the other guy's name. Yeah, Powell was from the 70s era, and I brought up and I can't remember his name. Shit. But anyway, we had a passing test of the guard there. Some real true Jet offensive linemen, tough guys.
Like, listen, so I saw the Jets play right this past week. What I saw the 2-minute drill from Wilson, right? I was like, okay, that's good. Like, I'm loving the Jets this weekend. I'm loving it. Huh?
2 is out.
I know 2 is out.
Yeah.
Now, as you talk about 2 out, another reason why I expect the Jets to do good. The Jets, so they didn't look bad, and that's better than anything else.
Yeah.
That they didn't look bad. So let's start there.
Yeah.
Because they did something that former Jets teams wouldn't have done. They took advantage of a rookie quarterback coming in the middle of a game. So you said you talk about the 3 interceptions? They should.
Yeah.
They should.
They should have been having that.
I'm watching the end of that game, and I'm saying to myself, you better have interceptions. I'm sorry. You have a defensive head coach. You picked up you picked up stud defensive players.
This is the pedigree.
We're supposed to put our mark somewhere.
Yeah.
If it isn't on defense, on a defensive head coach, you better, because if a rookie quarterback stepped into that game and shredded you, Robert Salah, you would never hear the end of it.
No,
ever.
No, I think
I'm looking at it and I'm pleased. So I can't say I'm happy. I'm pleased that you did
win this weekend.
You took advantage of the rookie quarterback and you did it. I'm pleased to see that Zach Wilson came in and executed
a horrible first half,
but executed a great second half, but also that 2-minute drill, because the 2-minute drill shows that, okay, if we're down by a touchdown, you could come win a game. You may be 7 for 28 for the first 3.5 quarters. If it's a 1-score game, if you master that 2-minute drill.
What I read in the press is he got in the huddle. It's like, let's get this touchdown.
But also remember this: the beauty of the 2-minute drill for especially rookie quarterbacks or any quarterback, it dumbs down your offense, so it leaves your offense very simple. So that's the reason why I can't take a lot of stock in the whole performance from last week, because the whole performance last week looks bad to begin with, but good in the second half, and then great in the 2-minute drill. So I'm like, okay.
I get you. I'm a Jets fan a long time. Yeah, by the way, let's go out there and win another game.
But let's go out there and beat these goddamn Dolphins, though. Like I'll say, let's go out and beat these damn Dolphins. They don't have Tua. Like, listen, we know the tragic incident that happened in Miami. We all saw that.
And by the way, I get to watch this one because it's a broadcast down here.
Are we gonna be here?
Yeah.
Are we gonna be here live at Sharkeys on that Sunday? We gonna be here on Sunday. We gonna be watching that game.
I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, baby. Appreciate you doing the show. Thank you. And Bree, whenever you're ready, we're ready for you.
Yes.
Whenever you're ready, we're ready for you, Bree. Yes, you're the only Bree that I know. where are we at? Okay, so while we wait for Bree to come and join us, right? Let's continue to talk some more of these. But it's been an exciting day. Like that's part of the reason. What's that?
This man and his accent.
Oh.
I'm just gonna fucking propose to him with my ring.
Oh,
That's fine.
and he said he will take your last name. He said
No, he said he wouldn't.
what? That's not what he said to
He
me.
said he would take my last name. Di amore. Di amore.
he said he would take
You
a
said
last
you would
name.
take my last name? I think your last name? Would you? Yeah, exactly. No, he wouldn't.
What?
That's the cutoff.
That's
why
not
I'm
what you
doing
said
it
to-
yet.
Whoa, that's not what you said to me 35 minutes ago.
You said no.
You said I would if I loved her and all this.
You don't love me? Be careful.
Yeah.
I'm Brie. I can make you fall in love with
See, so you gotta make him full. You gotta make him go full bloom. That's what it is.
I can make you.
You gotta make him full bloom. Okay. So we were at when we last was speaking to Bree, we were at Gentleman A, incarcerated. Gentleman B, married. And
Okay,
then
fuck B.
and then you had asked about possibly what you should do about Gentleman A. And my question was, how long is he? See, okay, so being locked up is tricky because
He was on his way to come see me. So we dated for like about 4 years. And I kind of was like, I'm done with you. Because like
So were you
understand-
together when he got locked up?
No, he was kind of on his way to come back to me.
Okay, so you were possibly gonna work things out, possibly.
He was gonna try to make things work out.
Okay.
I was kind of with boy B.
Okay.
So I was just like, nah, that's not gonna happen.
So there was so the love had kind of already
My soul.
passed a little because your eyes wandered because that kiss had you feeling some other things so
Because he couldn't claim me.
and then he couldn't claim you.
The
So
one thing I asked for.
they say distant makes the heart fond or whatever. Like sometimes like once you're not at separation, it may bring light to what he may have missed. Still don't mean you gotta put your life on hold. He didn't know that shit back then when he got locked up. Like you fucked up, player. Like I'm sorry. Like if you guys had been together that whole entire time, it was 4 years together, and when he got locked up, you guys were together, and the only thing that you guys had going about the claim, like the heart was still there. The whole you had trepidations of already moving on. Don't let guilt hold you to tie you to this
I never
person.
fully moved on. I will never fully move on from him.
Understood, but don't let.
But
So
I can find another person, and I could be happily in love marriage with them.
and don't let somebody's negative circumstances make you feel obligated to give them more of your love than they possibly they deserve.
True.
Because there was a reason why you had to sideline him.
But he
He was taking ill-advised shots.
came for me.
He was coming for you. He was.
That means he really does love me.
So
That's all I needed.
all I'm saying is that you don't have to pause yourself.
I'm not pausing myself, but is it stupid to say that?
Possibly, if it's no, it's not
Can
stupid.
I move to where he's deporting to and like just stay with him? Don't slap me. Made it so obvious and I didn't know. Like, fuck. Sorry.
Are you guys live?
Yeah, I'm live right now. Yes.
You scared
I'm
me.
sorry.
Yeah,
I told you I've been in situations.
This is a life podcast that revolves around sports.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
How you doing? Oh,
Maybe I should get that check.
here you go. I'll help you out.
Oh my god, you're so strong.
You like to be on video.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you're behind the camera.
No, you're behind the
So I will help you out, and I will show you what is being seen at all times.
Wait, he's gonna be on national television.
But-
no.
But you can't be heard.
Wait, you don't want to be heard?
But you can't be heard in 147 countries. But
Can this get to jail?
if
Because
Jill,
I'm about to call his ass name out and be like,
I
bro,
mean,
I love you.
if Jill get
I
me,
will come to Peru for you, okay? We can marry. I won't understand anything, but we could be together, okay?
how did you fuck that up, player? Like, you know, let's be serious. Bro,
Have you guys ever met a girl that's so down to move to a different state if you're getting deported?
Like, you really-
No, you never met them because you know why? There's only one person, and her name is Brie.
listen, pimpin', how did you mess up? A girl looks like she's 100% down for you. She's willing to move to another country after you serve time just to come live with you, and you couldn't claim her. And I'm seeing her right now. Like, if I wasn't actively talking to somebody, like, you understand what's going on here? Like,
That's so fucked up shit. Ever.
I'm just saying.
That means I'm still your second choice. That's still fucked up.
No, I'm not saying that you're my second choice. I'm just saying that you would be my first choice if I already didn't have a choice.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
High five now.
Right? I'm not too.
But that's the generation we live in, right?
That's a better one. There you go. That's a good one.
No, but really, would it be stupid if I moved there to be with him? Because, like, I'm really debating that, and it sounds so good. Like, he was the first person to take me away from all of my problems and made me feel so
I like that.
okay. Like, the only way to get rid of my problems is to, like, find somebody that won't bring me back to my family. Like, hey, we don't need to do Christmas at your family because we're gonna do a big Christmas here with us. Okay, I don't need to go to my family. You know,
But then just find somebody that has, like, so something like also one of the things you're looking for in whoever you're with is somebody that has their own either their own strong family ties or.
I've tried. It doesn't cut it. When that's what I'm saying. It goes back to what I said. When the chemistry is there, when you know it's there, shit you already know. Like, that's your bitch. Like, I mean, not your bitch, but like, that's your person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know I can find other people, and I'm open to find other people. I've met other people. It just. Okay, we're gonna put myself out there. I met a person. Perfect person.
But you know, that little thing, we have 10 minutes.
He has a brain.
That means hurry up.
You said we have 10 minutes before the show ends.
Oh, long story short, I met somebody. He was perfect. Everything that I asked for, it just doesn't fit because person A. Can I just be with person A, or is that so fucked up?
Listen, the heart wants what the heart wants, all right? So
would I be fucked up to move into Peru, a place that I don't even understand, a place that I probably won't adjust to?
it's abnormal.
But I know he'll take care of me.
Okay, so let's not say it's crazy. Is it unconventional? Yes. It's not crazy. People have done a whole lot worse, a lot more crazier things out of love. Like stay with somebody that whoops their ass 24/7. Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? So, like, it's all up. Is it unconventional? It is kind of unconventional because you still don't know what it actually is. So, also, like you're chasing how he used to make you feel, but also he used to make you feel a bunch of different ways, right? So, and it was enough for you to have to push them aside because it wasn't fulfilling to you. It's like how all these other individuals that you may have met until then
He
haven't.
fixed those things.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he didn't do them after the first time. And we've been together for 4 years. It's a long time. That's 365 days, buddy.
So then,
I'm talking morning from night. Like, I wake up in the morning and I'm with him. And then I go to sleep at night with him and then wake up with, like, 365. He changed.
So then really, like, because I'm not really presenting answers. I'm really presenting questions. Only you would really know, like, the answer, like the full answers to these. Has he changed in the ways that in the ways that were important to you?
I don't know. He's in jail.
Well, like I said, there was a reason why.
By the way, I know it's a sport thing, but can we make it known that Fort Lauderdale Jail Center does not make it easy for people to talk to people in jail?
Oh yeah, they definitely don't. I think everybody.
Like $18. And they don't even make me contact this person talking about the facility is not even there. Bitch, the facility is there. There's people locked up.
Actually, no. It is. It actually they do make their system very difficult. I've had to deal with individuals in there a couple of times, and it was never easy. So again, these are questions that only you can answer. Like, did the other actually, and you have there's doubts in it because see that's what I said. Like
There's no doubt.
no, but there is because
No.
you don't know.
No.
You don't know if he
I
has
don't care.
corrected. So you don't care if he's corrected the things that made you straight at the first time.
He made me straight because he couldn't commit.
Are you sure that he can commit? Like I said, whatever reasons
If he came to me and he got arrested, I promise you, with his personality, that's showing that he could commit.
So what you're holding on to was an incomplete action, because
No, because when he got arrested, there was a coworker that was really close with him. That's also close with me. He went to his, I guess, hearing per se, and he got to talk to him, and he told that guy that works with me to tell me that he still loves me and that he still thinks about me. But that was months away. So now, like, I mean, yes, there is a doubt, but it's not the doubt that you think it is. It's a doubt where he's in jail thinking, okay, this bitch doesn't really love me because she didn't even, like, there's no response, there's no contacting, nothing.
ultimately,
But do I feel like if he goes to Peru and he gets social media, would he hit me up? Oh, yeah, he would. He would. The first person he would contact is me talking about, hey, I'm in Peru, you want to visit? Hell yeah, good job.
so then if
We lost a child together. I already know we're connected. I saw it in his eyes when we lost. I saw it. The pain, the possibility. Like, he saw a potential of us being together with a kid. That is more than enough with me. But the thing is,
after that did he still have problems claiming you?
yes and no. Because at that time, when I lost the kid, I was just devastated. So I kind of did the thing that girls do in impulse, and they leave. And they just kind of,
So you retracted.
yeah.
That's my nose for 5 minutes.
I'm holding.
What I would
So
say is that
sorry.
it's unconventional, right? Sometimes you have to play out certain scenarios just to see how they work, and then you will just know on the other end. Sometimes you just have to learn. Like, and sometimes you go through it and it works out great. Sometimes you go through it and you learn a lesson, right?
It had a huge impact on me.
I understand that, and you're gonna meet a lot of people that I just a lot. You will meet people that will impact you.
It's been 2 years. I haven't met somebody yet.
You have a lot of time to go.
I don't have a lot of time.
It's plenty
I
of
was supposed to be married right now.
you have time. It's plenty of
I
time.
was supposed to be married.
It's so,
I know my mindset. I got goals and I got a time frame. Like, shit ain't
you
happening.
got time.
I'm about to arrange a marriage right now. Okay, like, it ain't happening.
There's no reason to rush into marriage. There really isn't.
No, it's not marriage.
But
It's just the fact I'm 25 and I'm supposed to be married, and then at 27 I'm supposed to have my first kid. So
you're fine. You have time. You have a little bit more time. You trust me. You have time.
yeah, time to move to Peru and
the-
situate myself.
the question-
and, like, have
listen,
kids.
Some
See,
of
it all makes sense.
some of the question marks that you have about life right now, you may not even answer in the next 5 years.
You don't know me, I do.
It's
I
not.
will.
It's not about you. It's not technically about the individual. It's just about sometimes what you have to go through.
I don't want to go through anything else. And if I go through something else, I want him to be the one that teaches me all of these life lessons.
Then
I don't want anybody else. I can't. The thing is, the comfortability, the stability that him and I have. It's the. I learned a lot from him, a lot. Like, there's times where I'm like, daily life where I'm going through something and I'm like, oh shit, I know this because of him.
well, you did mention that he took you away from home and at that point in time, you guys would be going through the learning of life lessons together.
Here I go.
That's
He's 30, I'm 25.
understand, and which he should. So he should have been the one to help guide you because he would have. He should have been going through some of these life lessons before you. You would have went through them. You would have went through them, and you would have learned them eventually.
And we got through it together, like a team. Everything between us was a team. He wouldn't go to a strip club unless I was going to the strip club. And I promise you, he wasn't looking at those bitches. He just went because of his friends. You know how many times I was just like, bro, because obviously the age cap. So when I was 21, I want to go out and I want to party, bitch. Like, I want to go to the clubs. He didn't want to go to the clubs. He was like 26, 27 at the time. 26, about 25, something like shit. Like, something like that. Anyway, point was, he was there for me. I went to the clubs. I got to dance. But you best believe if some guy tried to back it up on me or some guy tried to, and I didn't like it, he would have got in and he would have been like, yo, that's my girl, like, step aside. And I would have been good. I mean, I would have been drunk, but I would have been good, And those are the actions that showed me. The fact, like, the little things, like we were downtown and, we were walking on the strip and there was some people that were about to fight. You know what he did? He grabbed my hand and he pulled me aside and he was like, stay on this side because if anything happens, I'm going to be the one that's throwing hands, not you. You're going to stay on this side. You're going to be protected.
As he should.
Those are the little things. But that's the thing. Him as a person, like, when you see a different side from a different person, it shows, it matters. And you got to take that in consideration. I'm not saying fall for it. I'm not saying like, oh, well, he protected me from this, so I shouldn't, I should always be with him. Hell no. That's what a guy should do, or that's what a girl should, whatever, whoever it is. If it's a dyke, if it's a fucking whatever, I don't give a fuck. But the point is, they should protect the significant other. And that's what showed to me. The fact that I lost a kid and I was hysterically crying and he asked me what's wrong and I told him that I was scared to tell him. And I told him. And when I saw the pain in his eyes, knowing that he would never claim me, but I saw that pain in his eyes where it's like, damn, we would have had a future. We would have had this and that. Like, I saw that shit. That's what matters. That's what matters. And I don't know. I can't get that up.
Well then, so.
Oh my God. Are you done with your podcast?
Just about. So we just finished recording on anything I'm going to use officially as audio. Anything being heard now is going to be strictly on YouTube only. Is there a break? I'm going to take a break right now. Actually, if you leave now, I'm going to cut it off. Go ahead. Folks, this is Untitled Chapter with the MyT Sports Podcast. I want to thank you guys for listening. I know you guys probably want to listen to more of this riveting conversation. So, I can't keep it up any longer. All right, guys, we're heading out. We're gonna get out of here. It's Untitled Chapter, the MyT Sports Podcast. Don't you forget to listen to how many beers have I had? See, that's because I've been talking a while. Don't you guys forget to go ahead and like, share, follow the podcast wherever you like, share, and follow podcast. Like, share, and follow Music at same thing. Make sure you go like, share, and follow the podcast. We will be back live again Friday night, 8:07 p.m. You'll get our picks. We'll go more into which teams will not be making it into the playoffs. We're probably gonna have more Knicks talk. We're gonna have our birthday celebrations. We're gonna talk about the raffles, Brittany Griner. We're gonna get into it all. You know how we get down on the MyT Sports Podcast, all right? And then even better. Next week, folks, we announce the winners for the raffle ticket. Next week, we announce the winner for the raffle ticket. We'll be right here live, Sharkeys, and next week we'll have DJ Scepter on the 1s and 2s playing around this time for you guys. And he's gonna come out. It's gonna be an event. I was gonna cuss, but I tell myself not to.